College basketball season opens tonight in Provo. The BYU Cougars and the Bradley Braves coming up next right here on the Mountain. College basketball fans, and welcome inside the Marriott Center in Provo, Utah. If you're a college basketball fan, it's Christmas morning for you. It's the BYU Cougars and the Bradley Braves. Good evening, everybody. I'm Bill Riley, joined tonight by my partner, Joe Cravens. Coach, it's about time the college basketball season got here, and if you're a BYU Cougar fan, you're excited. There's a lot of talent back on this Dave Rose basketball team, led by the preseason player of the year, Jimmer Fredette.
Well, there's a reason Jimmer was picked as a preseason player of the year. He is a prolific scorer, Bill. He can score it deep. He gets it to the basket. He's got a great middle game, and he creates offense for his teammates off his penetration.
He'll go up tonight against Jim Les and the Bradley Braves. Coach Les in his 8th season, making his first trip back to Provo since he was a member of the Utah Jazz, playing an exhibition game back here. Here's the 5 he'll trot out to begin the game tonight. Keep an eye on that man in the middle, Sam Maniscalco. He is the shooter, he is the sharpshooter, and the leading scorer and probably floor leader for this Bradley Brave basketball team. On the other side, Dave Rose brings his team in here tonight. 5th season on the bench. What a record Dave Rose has. 74% of the games he's won as the BYU head coach. Here's the 5 he'll trot out tonight. Keep an eye. We told you about Jimmer Fredette, Abuo, Miles, Tavernari, and Emery, the defensive stopper tonight for the BYU Cougars. That's how they'll go, and we're just about ready to go here tonight, Coach. Let's get the Dodge keys to the game, and we'll start first with the Bradley Braves.
Well, they're a long way from home, Bill, and playing in the Marriott Center is no treat. But when you come in here, you got a transition defense against these running Cougs, and they want to adhere to that old road adage, keep it close and try to steal it down the stretch. BYU, a bigger team in the paint, needs to go inside early and then limit turnovers and not give this quick Bradley team more opportunities.
Well, thank you, Coach. Those are your Dodge keys to the game. Jonathan Tavernari and the Cougars ready to go. Chris Miles to jump it tonight against Sam Singh. Miles wins the tip, knocks it out of bounds, and what do we have? Going to be Bradley basketball off the tip, 2 seconds in. And the Braves take over. Bradley in red here this evening, BYU in the home whites, and they'll open in the traditional man-to-man. Dunson going baseline, out to Singh. Around the horn it goes for the Braves.
Good patience, good ball movement by Bradley early on, especially on the road. You want to get a good shot on your first couple of possessions.
Maniscalco back out front it comes. 13 on the shot clock here for Bradley. Very patient inside. McCain gets a look up and in.
Nice pass by big Sam Singh from the high post there. Kid in his 6th year in college. He's been hurt 2 years, got 2 redshirt years from the NCAA.
BYU on the attack for the first time in 2009. Jackson Emery with the ball up high. Tavernari fading away. That's his shot. Couldn't get that to go, and Abuo over the back that time, going the other way.
Well, I like Abuo getting to the glass, trying to assert himself rebounding-wise. He should be an outstanding offensive rebounder. That time just a little bit anxious and going over the back of the Bradley player.
So the Braves with a 2-0 lead in the basketball. McCain brings it across the timeline. Talked to Jim Les the other day. He says, hey, we know the BYU wants to run. That's our game, too. They'll spread the floor. They're not going to run where they don't have it, but they would like to get an up-and-down game. Here's Warren to the lane. On the backside, nobody blocked out Singh, but he couldn't get the bunny.
Well, a tough miss for Bradley. They could have went up 4-0. They're not going to get a lot of opportunities.
There's an offensive foul against Tavernari. Put it on the floor, and here's a look at it again. Tavernari picks up the foul.
No question there. Tavernari trying to force the issue a little bit early. BYU a little anxious on offense right now. Abuo getting the over-the-back foul going to the glass. They've got to settle in. You see Bradley, Bill's going to spread the floor and take advantage of their quickness against the bigger Cougars.
Maniscalco drew that offensive foul. Bradley still with a 2-0 lead. Warren straight away. Too strong. Rebound, Jackson Emery on the backside.
Jackson Emery, probably the best athlete on this BYU team. You'll see him rebound down like he did there and save the outlet pass and just bring it himself.
Tavernari out high for BYU. 2-0 early here. Bradley, 2 minutes gone by. Miles in the low post. Back out front, Emery. He'll hoist the three and hit.
That's good news for the Cougars there, because Emery has not shot the ball very well in either exhibition game. He's played terrific, but not shooting early on this season very well.
3-2 BYU on the Emery three. McCain with the ball in his right hand. Corner now to Warren. Singh on the cut, was held that time by Miles.
You see Bradley really bring Singh out very high on the court. Chris Miles needs to keep both feet in the paint, take away those back cuts, have active hands, and really help his teammates defensively.
Here's a look at Dave Rose. Up and off the bench early here for BYU. Warren with it. Tavernari on him. Fresh 35 here for the Braves, and now we've got a moving screen. They'll get Singh on that one. So Miles picks up the foul, Singh picks up a foul. They've gone either way, and BYU gets it back with a 3-2 lead.
One of the things that the BYU coaching staff was very concerned about defensively is guarding a lot of ball screens by Bradley. That time, the guy who was receiving the ball screen moved too quick, and that's the reason Singh got the foul on him.
Jimmer Fredette, the preseason player of the year in the Mountain West Conference, out high with McCain on him. He'll hoist a 22-footer in and out. Miles with a rebound. This Bradley team not very big, so Miles could have his way here tonight. Abuo baseline. Hanging, floating, and hitting. Charles Abuo.
Abuo is going to be a very exciting player for the Cougars, Bill. That big, strong body. He really gets to the basket easy, and you saw that time him play through contact and complete the basket.
Here's McCain. He'll try a three right side. Too strong off the back. Emery's got another rebound.
I don't imagine that was the shot Coach Les wanted there. They'd had some success running their half-court offense. That was off no passes. McCain just brought that down and shot it.
Assistant coach Dave Rice off the BYU bench, barking out an offensive set for Jimmer Fredette. Fredette to the lane, scoop shot won't go. Pretty drive that time. McCain with a rebound.
Fredette can get to the basket easy. He's got a great crossover dribble.
Egolf couldn't handle it. Abuo up with it. Ahead look the Cougars. Transition three. Tavernari short. Maniscalco with the rebound here for Bradley.
For some teams, that may have been too quick a shot. For BYU, especially at home, you'll see him take that transition three off of one pass, and Dave Rose encourages that.
Crowd coming to life here early. BYU with a small lead. Bradley basketball. Maniscalco fading, drew some contact, couldn't get it to go. Emery ahead, hanging, firing outside. Abuo for three. Up and over the top. And we'll have a timeout. First dead ball timeout. BYU with a 3-point lead early. We're back to the Marriott Center right after this.
This thing rocks.
Lots of room back there in the back. Hemi, top of the line.
I mean, I can't think of a better word, but fantastic.
The all-new Dodge Ram 1500. The most award-winning truck of 2009 and winner of Strategic Vision's Total Quality Award.
Thursday on the Mountain, it's Utah and San Diego State in women's volleyball. The Utes swept their September battle in Salt Lake. Now the Aztecs try to turn the tide in a rematch on the coast. Utah, San Diego State, Thursday at 7:30 after the Mountain View, only on the Mountain.
For three. And the follow slam. Rising for three. Got it. Slamming it down.
Get on your dancing shoes. You're going to the big show.
On Campus Cam, the show that lets students sound off on the top stories in college sports. Join student reporters from across the Mountain West as they debate the headlines from the conference and beyond. On Campus Cam, Tuesday at 9 on the Mountain.
Mountain College basketball is brought to you by Dodge. Live life to the fullest. Dodge, grab life. And by America First Credit Union, where members come first. Back here on a beautiful, beautiful November evening in Provo, Utah. There's a look at Charles Abuo. He and the Cougars, the 5-2 lead early on. Bradley coach made their first shot. They've missed their last 5. Almost 4 minutes since that first field goal. They got off to a good start. Not so much lately, though.
Well, both teams really that first game jitter, so to speak. Bradley 1 for 6, BYU 2 for 7. Both teams have missed one wide open. Singh missed a wide open putback, and Jimmer Fredette missed one right at the rim as well.
Kane's gone to the bench. Maniscalco will run the offense here at the point for Bradley. Also into the game for the first time this afternoon, Chris Roberts.
BYU coming out of that timeout in a 2-3 zone, which I think is a great play.
Emery into this passing lane, comes up with a steal, draws the foul on Warren. That's his game, coach. He's a great defensive player, was an all-conference defensive player a year ago, Jackson Emery.
And really active. I want to go back to that point I was making about BYU coming out of that timeout in a 2-3 zone. I'm sure Jim Les came out with, let's run this against a man-to-man, and that nullifies that complete timeout.
There's a look at Jackson Emery with the ball on the right side, looking to dump down in, comes back to the point to Abuo. 20 on the shot clock for BYU. It's a rare instance when they take the full 35. Fredette out front. He'll hoist a 3 and hit. Jimmer Fredette. There's a reason he's the preseason conference player of the year.
Well, what he took advantage of, when he starts dancing with the ball like that and that defender drops his hands, boy, he rises right to his jump shot. You've got to keep one hand over the ball on him and anticipate that pull-up.
Roberts inside. Egolf baseline, squares it up and rattles it home. Chris Egolf.
Nice move by Egolf there.
Egolf.
That little half post there, kind of a Jack Sickman inside out pivot right over the big freshman Brandon Davies.
Mentioned Brandon Davies. He's in the game, freshman from right out of Provo. 2 very good freshmen on this BYU team. Davies one, Tyler Hawes on the bench the other. We'll see them both tonight. Again, Jimmer Fredette looks to the bench. Dave Rice up with a play. Fredette around a curl. Outside, threw it away. Last touch by whom? Warren on the far side stays with BYU. Just 6 on the shot clock, though. I mentioned Tyler Hawes a second ago. Tyler Hawes checks into the game.
Brandon Davies made a real subtle freshman mistake on that ball screen, Bill, and came way too far away from the basket. He needed to stop at the three-point line so Fredette could take the ball into a scoring area. Davies took it out to about 30 feet, and consequently that ball screen occurred way out of the scoring zone.
4 on the shot clock. 25, 26-footer missing. Davies with the follow. Oh, the freshman. Showing why they're so excited about him here in Provo.
I'll forgive that ball screen mistake if a kid could do that. Boy, they are high on him. The BYU staff sang his praises all day while I was talking to him.
Warren outside. Roberts with it now. The freshman Hawes draws him. BYU sticking with that man-to-man. 15 on the shot clock for the Braves. In the corner, ball fake. Here's a inside, just inside the arc. Shot put up, missing. Emery with another rebound. He'll lose the handle. Hawes, can he get to it? Foul first. Roberts picks it up. His first. Team foul number 3 on the Bradley Braves.
When you have a guard like Jackson Emery can go rebound like that, Bill, boy, that gets that fast break jump started in a hurry because, again, there's no outlet pass. He gets it and goes. That puts tremendous pressure on the defense.
Inside off the window. Little floater, Jimmer Fredette. 12-4 now BYU. Bradley's got to be careful here. BYU's a team of spurts, aren't they, Coach?
They are for a fact, and boy, they can get going in a hurry on you.
Out front. And an offensive foul. Set on Egolf.
Same type foul that Singh got, the big post guy. The guy's got to wait on that ball screen, and the guy receiving the ball screen moves too quick. That big guy can't get set, and that's the reason they've gotten 2 straight ball screen fouls by both big guys.
Egolf, Roberts to the bench. Singh also on the bench right now for Bradley. They've gone small now with this lineup. See if BYU goes inside. And away from the ball. Offensive foul. Tried to set a screen high. The freshman Brandon Davies.
Well, BYU was going into a little cross screen, down screen action, Fredette set the cross screen for Hawes to give him that post catch, and then Davies set the down screen. He's moved on virtually every screen he set. I've been watching him. He got caught that time.
Edrin McCain back in the game. Maniscalco to the lane. Davies erasing that one.
Boy, oh boy. Bill, has he got a live body? Holy mackerel.
Energy thy name is Brandon Davies. Something BYU has not had a lot of in recent years, Coach, athletic big men.
Well, that's, and big Chris Miles, I think, is a terrific defender, limited offensively, but this kid, they are really singing his praises about what he can do offensively. Look at those quick feet, and he caused that turnover. Brandon Davies at 6'9", 230, gets out there like a guard, stops the ball. That was even more athletic than that rebound he got a while ago. What great feet.
Bradley struggling right now to get anything going. That's now 5 turnovers on the Braves. Down 12-4, BYU with the basketball.
BYU very alert, very quick to the ball defensively.
Out front, Tavernari, that's a deep three, short that time, doesn't follow his shot. Loose on the floor, Davies went after it, didn't get that one. Braves coming the other way. McCain, back to Maniscalco. Maniscalco around the screen to the lane, shot rejected, but he'll get 2 free throws. And he'll get them when we come back. Well, we mentioned Brandon Davies. Here's a look at the action early on from the young fella. Impressive early here. Cougars with an 8-point lead.
Money isn't really about money. Loans aren't about getting things. They're about living and about fulfilling dreams.
Close out your day on the field with the Mountains post-game live.
From the sidelines
to the studio.
They join us now for a full recap.
We're getting better on special teams, which I really liked.
Get the best highlights.
Deion Morton all alone.
Have the first down, splits the seam.
Wide open touchdown.
And complete analysis.
They came out angry with a chip on their shoulder.
They have been battle tested.
Post-game live.
Right here after the game.
only on the Mountain.
I feel good. I feel we're able to go back to work on the 1st of August, and we've been going strong since. And every report I get just seems to be good news, and so things are good.
I'd say so. Clean bill of health for now. There's a look at Dave Rose, diagnosed earlier this year with cancer. Well, early on, you and I talked, and some of the other folks, about what the outlook would be, but he was a lucky man, and he'll tell you that too. They got that cancer, and right now he's in great shape, Joe.
Well, I tell you, that really shook not just this community up, but the whole coaching community, athletic community, for a guy like Dave Rose to get that diagnosis. And man, is he a lucky man, and a very deserving lucky man.
Sammy Maniscalco is at the free throw line for the Bradley Braves, junior out of Chicago, Illinois. Really the floor leader for Jim Less's team. He told me, not only offensively, but he's kind of the heartbeat of this team, and he knocks down both free throws to cut that BYU lead in half. Not only is he lucky, Dave Rose, in his health, but he's a lucky man. He got a new 5-year contract extension today as well, Joe.
Well, he deserves it. I don't know how much they're paying him for 5 years, but it's not enough. He's done a terrific job here, and he does it with a real class and quiet toughness about him that is admired nationwide.
Noah Hartsock whistled for that foul, coming over the back that time, and so just into the game, the junior Noah Hartsock. Sorry, sophomore, redshirt sophomore.
That's the one area. Excuse me, Bill. That's the one area BYU think they are a lot deeper and more talented along that front line this year with the addition of Brandon Davies, Hartsock a year older, and the big kid from Page, Arizona, Anderson. They think they can really kind of stack the deck around the basket against people.
Great hustle play by Emery ahead to Fredette. Jimmer to the lane, off the window. Sweet play by Jimmer Fredette.
I tell you, he is just sweet offensively. That was a great hesitation to a crossover. And, you know, he doesn't seem like he blows by you, Bill, but he just gets you leaning one way. And, boy, he takes maximum advantage of it.
7 now for Fredette. He's got half the BYU points. Maniscalco out front, fouled by Jackson Emery.
Tough foul on Emery there. Boy, great lateral quickness, had his hands out of there. I thought the defensive player caused the contact. That's a tough call. Toughest call for an official in basketball right there.
Jim Les early on rolling the subs through here freely. Jim was a short-time member of the Utah Jazz at the professional level just up the road in Salt Lake City. He was here for an exhibition game, he told me, the last time he was here in the mid-90s against the LA Lakers when the Jazz played here. But he knows all about the altitude, and he wants to keep fresh bodies on the floor.
Well, one of the great lines I heard him say years ago that the Jazz cut him for a no-name point guard named John Stockton. He just couldn't believe it.
I think it worked out okay for both guys. Stockton had a decent playing career. Jim Les has gone on to be a pretty good coach at his alma mater.
Well, he played 7 years in the NBA, actually led the NBA 1 year in three-point shooting percentage. Played for 3 Hall of Fame coaches, Jerry Sloan, Dick Motta, and Lenny Wilkins. So I'm sure all those guys added to his coaching knowledge.
Maniscalco now 4 for 4 from the line. Tavernari quickly the other way. That 3 misses. Hawes with the rebound and fouled on his way up. Tyler Hawes, the freshman.
Tavernari's hunting shots right now, Bill. His last 2 shots have come way too quick, not in the flow of the offense. Now, he can take those shots and make them, but right now, I think he just needs to settle in, let the game come to him, let the shots find him. I thought his last 2 shots were hunted shots.
Here's a look at the freshman Hawes, one of the most sought-after players in recent memory here in the state of Utah. He was a Mr. Basketball as a junior and a senior. Father Marty is here tonight, played at BYU as well. All-time leading scorer, too, at Lone Peak High School. Goes just 1 out of 2.
He scored 1,700 points in high school, Bill. That's a ton of points. I coached against his father, Marty. The year I was the interim coach at Utah. He played for Roger Reed. He was an outstanding point guard.
McCain back out front to Roberts. Tavernari's got him. Roberts to the lane, hanging, reversing. Won't get the spin to go. McCain stays with it. Good hustle play that time. Fresh 35 for the Braves. Corner 3. Too strong. Tavernari with a rebound. Fredette crossing over to the lane, kicks it back out front. There's a JT 3, missing again. Hawes with the rebound follow. Oh, if that would have gone, this place would have blown the roof off. Skip pass, Maniscalco. Fouled out front by Hartsock, who's picked up his 2nd. Now the Braves making their regular season debut here in Provo. Pretty good year last year. 3rd, make it 4th straight 21-win season for Jim Les. Have to go back a ways to find the last time these 2 teams met. Jim wasn't even there yet, back in 1974 here in Provo.
Well, they've played 3 times. BYU's won the last 2. Bradley, the last time they beat BYU was 1954. That was the year I was born.
Did they have peach baskets still then? Or?
Well, I don't know. That's been a long time ago. I grew up, though, in southern Indiana when Bradley obviously in the Missouri Valley, and part of the Missouri Valley at that time was Louisville and Cincinnati. Bill, I mean, great basketball league, and they had a game of the week on back at that time in the 60s, way before ESPN and, you know, a lot of these television networks were carrying basketball. So this is they're from an old and very traditional basketball league, the Missouri Valley.
There's a look at Sammy Maniscalco. He's now 6 out of 6 at the line. He's halfway to his average from a year ago. and keeping Bradley in it from the charity stripe. Braves down just 5 here.
Maniscalco led Valley in free throw percentage last year.
Fredette out front. Dodie Dunson has it. 13 on the shot clock for the Cougars. Crossing over Fredette. There's a 3. Good. They'll say foot on the line, just a 2. 9 now for Jimmer Fredette.
You know, that you talk about creating a shot and creating a space to get a shot. A hard drive right, a crossover, a little bit of a step back. Man, oh man, is he hard to guard. BYU back in a 2-3 zone, kind of changing the tempo a little bit. Having a little hard time matching up with the perimeter quickness of Bradley. This zone's got Bradley back on their heels a little bit.
Roberts out to Warren, 10 on the shot clock. Maniscalco, long 3, knocked it down.
You've got to find that kid. He set a freshman record 2 years ago, 55 threes as a freshman at Bradley. If BYU continues to play his 2-3 zone, they've got to find him out around them in that perimeter.
9 for Maniscalco, and now he's got a rebound too. He's doing it all right now for the Braves.
Well, he's a tough kid. You look at what he's accomplished these 2 years at Bradley. He's made big shots. He averaged 15 over the last 12 games last year. Probably a little bit quick there, and he's a little bit winded. That was a bad shot because they were back in the flow offensively, and you look at him now. Look at him. He's kind of gasping a little bit, and he let that one go too deep.
Timeout taken by the Bradley Braves. 30-second timeout. Keep it right here. 8 minutes and 20 seconds to play first half.
I told you Maniscalco is from a really tough, hard-nosed high school, St. Patrick's High School in the Catholic League in Chicago. I think it's off Addison Avenue, real close to Wrigley Field. I believe it's about 5 blocks from Wrigley Field.
Saying Sam might be a Cubs fan?
Sam's probably a big Cubs fan and a pretty tough kid, too, coming from where he does.
But he's a preseason honorable mention all Missouri Valley player. He was the newcomer of the year, made an all-freshman team a few years ago. You know what he's got? Adding to that total a minute ago. Now 127 threes. That was 126 for the most in a 2-year span in Bradley history. They've had some pretty good shooters. A guy named Hersey Hawkins comes to mind. Pretty good shooter back in the day.
Not bad. There's been some great players coming out of there, going way back to Chet the Jet Walker coming out of there. Hersey Hawkins, David Thirdkill. They've had a lot of kids go on. Had a first-round draft pick just a few years ago, and a big 7-footer. Patrick O'Kelly or O'Brien? O'Brien, first-round pick by Golden State.
BYU basketball here. Just over 8 to play first half. Miles backing his way in, back outside. Skip pass around. Hawes has it in the corner.
Bradley's doing a pretty good job of guarding BYU. BYU having to go deep into the shot clock on several possessions because they just can't get a good look. Great job defending that ball screen there.
10 now on the shot clock for Fredette. Spinning, turning, corner, baseline. Shot to Lloyd. Lloyd hoists a 3 and hits. Michael Lloyd, boy, is that frustrating if you're Bradley.
That really is. That was a great execution by BYU. What's called baseline drive, baseline drift. Maybe we can bring that back up and show the fans in a little bit. Baseline drive from one side of the court. Michael Lloyd Jr. reading it on the other side and getting to that other baseline, creating an open passing lane. That was just great college basketball there.
Roberts skip pass to Warren. Warren to the lane, kicks it back outside. Roberts thought about a 3. 5 on the shot clock here for Bradley. Got to go if you're the Braves. Out front, long 3, Dunson. Off the back rim, no good. Rebound. Magnuson just in the game here for BYU. Lloyd fouled as he drove baseline, and we've got a timeout on the floor. 7 minutes to play first half here at the Marriott Center in Provo. Jimmer Fredette having a nice start to this one. Crossing over, using a screen, and knocking down a shot. And Sammy Maniscalco, he'll hit a long one. BYU by 7. Back after this.
Domino's new mix and match deal with any 3 or more oven-baked favorites for just $5.55 each has got our chefs a little competitive.
Choose your own combination, but if you ask me, I'd start with pasta in a warm seasoned bread bowl.
I cannot lie. People love the pie.
My oven-baked sandwiches can't be beat.
Magic Bread Bowl says...
This is the best thing since sliced bread.
Shapow!
Okay, then.
Choose any 3 or more one-topping pizzas, oven-baked sandwiches, or bread bowl pastas for only $5.55 each with the new Domino's Mix and Match deal.
Just flew into Mozambique.
Accra Airport.
Nicaragua.
Thailand.
In Peru, we help bring water from local springs so they could use it for drinking.
We're at the school right now teaching about how to have better hygiene.
We're in the maternity hospital helping, and one lady even named her baby after Christy Sue.
In one day, these people had a house to live in. Hola! Thank you.
Sometimes it seems overwhelming, but I think you have to change the world one person at a time.
The Mountain, your home for Mountain West basketball.
No look pass to Miles with a jam.
Stops, pops, we are tied up.
Live, right here, all season long.
Launches a long-range three and slams it home.
Catch Mountain West basketball.
Only on the mountain,
where the West is one.
Wednesday, men's coverage tips off with pregame live at 5:30, followed by Utah State and Utah at 6, and Nevada UNLV at 8:30, right here on the Mountain.
Here's an example of great team offense by the BYU Cougars. Fredette creates a little seam here. Hits Magnuson, who drives at baseline, and watch Lloyd from the other side come all the way over to the baseline and drift to an open area to get the shot. That's called baseline drive, baseline drift, textbook basketball.
Absolutely one of your favorites. There's a look at Michael Lloyd, redshirted a year ago. Happy to be back out on the floor this year. Just a sophomore out of Las Vegas. BYU, if you take Jonathan Tavernari out of the mix right now, BYU's hitting 62% of their shots. JT 0 for 6 right now. Everybody else 8 out of 13.
Well, I told you, I thought he forced a few of those. And
there's Magnuson, just in the game, couldn't get that floater to go.
Magnuson is a real workhorse type player. Played at Salt Lake Community College last year for Norm Parrish on a national junior college championship team. A great team.
Edrin McCain, whistle away from the basketball, and that's going to be another foul on Bradley. Will Egolf picked that one up, and I think that's now, is that 2 now on Egolf?
Well, Bradley's not a very big team to start off with.
Here at the Marriott Center in Provo, Utah, Bill Riley and Joe Cravens with you. It's the season opener for both these teams. BYU Cougars in white. Those Bradley Braves out of the Missouri Valley in red here this evening. BYU with a 7-point lead. Last foul was the 7th team foul against the Bradley Braves. Cougars will be shooting free throws the rest of this half. Emery baseline over the top of Dunson. Couldn't get it to go. Egolf pulls the board for the Braves.
An interesting combination on the court now for Dave Rose. Dave said he's still kind of in the experimenting phase with his team. Always cultivates a long bench, so always plays a lot of guys.
Long three. Warren knocks it down. Andrew Warren, the junior out of Indianapolis.
Warren's a kid that averaged 13 as a sophomore. Got hurt last year and had to set the entire season out.
Whistle and a foul as the drive goes baseline. Look at that 3 one more time.
Watch Magnuson's mistake of not getting a hand up here. He's right there. Oh, my fault. He did have a hand up. I thought he was flying airplane. Shot. That was a tough shot. Great footwork by the kid Andrew Warren out of Indianapolis.
Sims Edwards in the game for the first time, just picked up a foul. You know, be proud of that shot by Warren, his godfather, Chuck Person, the rifleman.
Chuck Person.
He nailed a few shots like that in that career with the Indiana Pacers.
Well, Warren's uncle, the late Tony Warren, a great player for Butler University in Indianapolis. He's got a great basketball bloodline.
Tyler Hawes knocks down both free throws. 3 points for the freshman out of Alpine. BYU's lead back out to 6 at 22-16. Bradley hanging around here in the first half. Inside Egolf off the window. Nice look too that time by Sims Edwards.
Jackson Emery a little late getting over there to pick up the roll, about a step late. Much as I like Jackson in his effort, he was asleep at the wheel on the weak side that time.
Tavernari thought about a 3, backs up, takes it short. He's 0 for 7 now. Really forcing shots here early.
Yeah, there's a reason he's 0 for 7. Again, he can take bad shots and make them go in, but he's really hunting them right now.
Egolf couldn't get that to go. Hawes with a rebound. Transition jumper. Michael Lloyd knocks down a 2.
Hey, Michael Lloyd's hit 2 tough jump shots. That's a tough shot, catching the full gallop on the fast break and go right up for his jump shot. He was the recipient of that baseline pass while ago too and had great footwork.
24-18 BYU as we dip under 5 to play here in the first half. Dunson trying to create a little room for himself. Around Emery, shot off the window, got contact, but no foul. Here comes Hawes the other way. Transition, Emery, Tavernari, three, got that one.
Now, there's a reason that went in. Feet set, plenty of time. That was a good shot.
And a timeout taken here by Jim Les. Doesn't want this one to get too far away. And let's take a look at that last run up the floor here, Coach.
Now watch. The last three shots before this one, Tavernari has hunted and took bad shots. Great pass here, ahead, touch pass, and again, Tavernari's feet set. He had plenty of time, and there's a reason that went in.
And Coach, is that textbook BYU fast break basketball? Most teams on a fast break, a 3-on-2 run to the basket. BYU runs to the three-point line.
They do a great job of spreading the floor, and that's a great point, Bill. Two ways that was textbook. They spread the floor in transition. They always pass it ahead. You saw Hawes pass it ahead to Jackson Emery, who touch passed it over to Tavernari in the corner, and this is how BYU gets away from you. Boy, they get going quick.
Well, that guy right there, off to a slow start tonight, but he's a preseason all-conference selection. His teammate Jimmer Fredette, first team and preseason conference player of the year, and then Billy White, Svanko Bullion, and Trevon Willis from down at UNLV.
Well, big transitional year this year in the Mountain West. Remember, last year there was 28 returning starters throughout the league. The league lost a lot of good players, but a lot of good young players, as you see from that list there, remain in the league.
Out of the timeout, Bradley. Let's see what Jim Les dials up here, down 9. Maniscalco back in the game. They need him on the floor here tonight.
Nice job by Tavernari guarding the ball there. A little bit of a mismatch him on Maniscalco. Jackson.
10 on the shot clock now. McCain ball fakes to the basket, reversing it up, won't go. Miles with a rebound.
Pretty good team defense that time.
Maniscalco cuts off Lloyd. McCain jumps out on Emery now.
Thought Lloyd could have passed it ahead a little bit then, Bill. He took it a little bit too deep. Again, what BYU's really good about is passing the ball ahead in transition.
Foul goes against Bradley. We've got a timeout on the floor. 3:47 to play here in the first half. BYU leads by 9, and we're back to the Marriott Center next.
This thing rocks.
Lots of room back there in the back. Heavy, top of the line.
I mean, I can't think of a better word, but fantastic.
The all-new Dodge Ram 1500. The most award-winning truck of 2009 and winner of Strategic Vision's Total Quality Award.
The Mountain. Total BYU coverage.
Calls for it, gets it, drills it in. Leading the charge, throwing it in.
Live game. Breaking team news. Cougars inside coverage. Celebrate the blue and white.
Oh, great move, coast to coast. Making tough shot, and he buried the 3.
Show your true colors all season long.
She can hit the 3.
For 3, got it.
The Mountain, where the West is one.
Back at the Marriott Center in Provo, Danny Ainge, one of 2 BYU men's jerseys hanging high above the rafters here. Marriott Center. Yeah, he had a pretty decent career here. Digger Phelps would probably like to forget number 22, but yeah, he had a pretty good career here in Provo.
One of the great highlights of the NCAA tournament, him going baseline to baseline against Digger Phelps' Notre Dame Irish to knock him out of the NCAA.
Kresimir Kosic, the other jersey that hangs here in the rafters at the Marriott Center, a great player here in the early 70s for the BYU Cougars.
The first international All-American for the NCAA. Great story behind him. People who saw him play said he was just terrific. Opted not to go to the NBA and go back to his homeland and serve the LDS Church.
So out of the timeout, Michael Lloyd will be shooting free throws here for the BYU Cougars. Lloyd's hit a couple of jump shots here. Can't get that free throw to go, and a foul coming over the top that time on the sophomore James Anderson, who just checked in here.
Not exactly the way James wanted to start his sophomore year with no time ticking off the clock and getting a foul there.
It's team foul number 9 on the BYU Cougars, so the Bradley Braves will shoot free throws here for the remainder of the first half.
BYU holding Bradley to 25% shooting, 5 for 20 from the field goal, doing a great job. I saw BYU play Central Washington on TV the other day, and I told their coaches I thought they were very quick and very alert defensively, and they think they may be better than what they've been at this point in the year over the last couple years defensively right now.
Big fella, Anthony Thompson, just a sophomore out of Houston, Texas. Only attempted a few foul shots in his career. Got both of those there. The lefty looked pretty good.
Looked real good. Boy, he's a long old drink of water, and look how long his arms are.
He and James Anderson will swap a little paint there in the paint. That ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Braves. Stays with BYU, 26 on the shot clock. Look at Edrin McCain, a sophomore out of LaPlace, Louisiana.
McCain's hadn't done a lot tonight, but a pretty good young point guard, only sophomore. Started 29 games as a freshman last year on a team that won 21 games. He'll be an outstanding point guard in the Missouri Valley Conference.
Knocked away and out of bounds again by Bradley. It'll stay right here. 17 now on the shot clock for the Cougars. Coming up at halftime, there's our man, Marius Payton. He'll be joined in the studio by the coach, Marty Fletcher. Got to stick around for that. Marty always entertaining in studio. Break down the first half of this one, give you some scores as well from around college basketball. Utah in action tonight. There's a Buo up and in. Utes opening up their season at the Huntsman Center about 45 minutes north of here against your old squad, the Idaho Vandals.
Well, I tell you, I think Idaho's going to give them a pretty tough game. Idaho's got 4 starters back, picked 4th in the Western Athletic Conference. Very athletic team. They may give the Utes a run for the money tonight.
And what do we have here? Is that an offensive foul on Warren? Leaning in that time to draw the contact?
I think it was before the shot.
Okay.
I think he actually dropped his shoulder. Let's look at it. I think it was before the shot. Let's see if he doesn't right there. Yeah, I think that's where, yeah. Watch David Hall, his reaction time. David doesn't react quite as quick as he did when he was a young man. He's been around the block a few times, but that was the right call.
So Mr. Warren will take a seat. Junior out of Indianapolis picks up his second foul. Player control, so no free throws for BYU. Jackson Emery left alone for 3, comes up short with that one. Buo, Anderson battle, same team, out to Fredette. That's going to be too strong off the back. Maniscalco, long rebound for Bradley. Wide open. That's a long 3, too strong. Roberts battles for the rebound on the baseline, and he's fouled there by Jackson Emery.
Boy, both teams flying around the court. The pace has picked up considerably. Not that the quality has picked up, but both teams chasing down long rebounds.
Second foul on Emery. He may have to come out here for the final 2:29. Chris Roberts, senior, one of the few seniors on this team out of Fort Worth, Texas. It's the first free throw.
He played at legendary Dunbar High School for Robert Hughes Sr., who was the winningest coach in high school basketball history. Then went to Navarro Junior College, had a really good junior year at Bradley last year.
I'll tell you, he also hit a 75-foot shot at the buzzer in last year's CBI tournament to get Bradley past Oakland.
Yeah, that won the game. Just didn't hit it. That won the game. How about that? How would you like to be my friend Greg Campy at Oakland and get beat on a 75-footer at the buzzer?
Fredette finds a Buo, turning and shooting, too strong. Rebound Bradley. So the Braves down just 7 here. Have a chance to cut into that lead.
The Buo got whacked in, played through the hit. I like a Buo around the basket. I think he's really going to be a good player here.
Maniscalco inside, shot by Thompson. Anderson may have got a piece of it. Fredette looking for a screen, doesn't get one, loses the handle. Saved inbounds. Lamont Morgan Jr. comes up with it. And Fredette may have gotten poked in the eye. Let's go back down to the other end for just a second, Coach. Thompson was open underneath. Did Anderson get a piece of this?
Well, hopefully he did, because he completely lost his guy. He was focused on the ball, had no idea where his man was. But those are two long young kids going at one another there. I thought Fredette overhandled the ball just a little bit there. I thought he should have got off of it and got the ball reversed. In transition, you want to get the ball reversed to the other side to make the defense move as soon as you possibly can. You want to get multiple side attacks, that's called, and get quick ball reversals.
Tavernari open for another three and spins that one down. That's back-to-back threes now for Tavernari.
A nice high release by Jonathan Tavernari. Some guys have kind of a low shooting pocket. Jonathan Tavernari catches that ball and kind of sights it in right in front of his face, which causes that real high release he has.
Blocking foul, James Anderson. So he's picked up 2 quickies. Minute 21 to play here in the first half. 10-point lead for BYU.
Watch Tavernari find a shot here, kind of fill in a gap, and then watch, again, nice follow through. When he gets it going, he has a beautiful shot. He'll be a kid you'll see years and years from now playing for the Brazilian Olympic team. Played for their national team last year, has a great knack for scoring. I was kind of tough on him early in the game. I said I thought he hunted some shots, but sometimes good offensive players hunt shots. He was also their leading defensive rebounder at BYU last year, so he's kind of rounded his game out, Bill. He's not just a shooter anymore.
Sims Edwards comes up empty on both of his free throws. Coming up on a minute to play here in the first half. BYU looking to extend this 10-point lead. Fredette. Roberts, good defense there. Sims Edwards up with it. Out to Maniscalco. There's a three in transition. Sammy gets it to go. 12 now for Maniscalco.
For as good a player as Fredette is, again, I thought he overhandled a little bit there. He's got to get off the ball and get that ball reversed around the perimeter.
Tavernari working on Thompson, fading that time and missing. Bradley with a rebound. And they can hold for one here if they want to, and that's exactly what Jim Les tells his team to do.
Well, Dave Rose is going to have plenty of ammunition to talk to his team about at halftime. Fredette overhandling it in the last 3 minutes. Bad shot by Tavernari. Again, not very good half-court offense. That's not Cougar basketball. I guarantee you Dave Rose is going to make that point.
11 on the game clock, 11 on the shot clock. Just about 0.2 seconds differential. Maniscalco working now the double team. Inside, Thompson knocked away. And Bradley doesn't get a shot off. Will not count at the buzzer. So we go to the locker room. And BYU with a 7-point lead, led by Jimmer Fredette, Jonathan Tavernari. Let's send it back now to the M&M boys in Denver. Marius and Marty. Take it away, guys.
Thanks so much, Riles. Come on inside the Denver studios of the Mountain for the first time this season for Halftime Live. As basketball season gets underway, Marty Fletcher brings his knowledge of the game to the show as always. And Coach, as we look back at the first 20 minutes of play, what stands out to me is the backcourt play of the Cougars. Jimmer Fredette has mad handles, and Jackson Emery is just a sniper out.
Well, what stands out to me is the broadcast crew is in mid-season form. These guys are sharp. I mean, Billy is doing a great job, and of course, we know about Gentleman Joe. Hey, look. The J connection. We're talking about Jimmer Jammer Fredette and Jackson Emery. The J connection. These two guys maybe, I said maybe, end up being the best backcourt in the Mountain West Conference. We know about Jimmer Jammer. He can put it on the floor. He takes it hard. He's a great finisher. But Jackson Emery is going to have a huge year. He is one of the best defensive players, and he really gets after it.
All right. Sounds now that they're telling me we have to toss it right back to site. They're kind of reviewing that very last play.
All right, we're back here. They're looking at that last basket. It was a shot clock violation, Coach. If you watch this, I don't believe the basket counts, but there should be just a little bit of time left after the shot clock violations, maybe 0.7. 0.2, 0.7, somewhere in that neighborhood, but The basket doesn't count, but BYU will have a little bit of time because of the shot clock violation.
Yeah, I thought they were contemplating the three-pointer, whether that was good or not, and pretty good crew here. Shot clock violation, no basket. BYU gets it with .2, I believe, is going to be left.
And Bradley asking if the basket's good. The basket is definitely not good. What we have, though, is a shot clock violation. That's why we're still out here on the floor. They didn't get the shot off in time, and there was about, there we go, 0.7 seconds remaining. So enough time to basically catch it and chuck it is what you have here. Haas to get it inbounds to Fredette. He'll chuck it the length of the floor. Oh, almost got it. Bradley's seen that one before, but they were the beneficiary in the CBI last year. Now we've officially reached halftime here at the Marriott Center. Still a 7-point lead. One more look. Here's Fredette tossing it about 75, 80 feet and just missing off the rim. All right, 7-point BYU lead, 32-25. Now we go back to Denver. Take two, Marius. Take two, Marty.
Thanks so much, Bill. Coach,
no, give him a point for that last shot.
0.7 seconds left on the clock. We got to finish out the first 20 minutes of play, and when you got 0.7 seconds on the clock, you got to play it out, Coach.
Well, we just saw anything can happen. That baby would have counted. Good if it goes. I mean, it hits iron, and he got it off in time, Jimmer Jammer, because we were talking about the J connection, the backcourt with Jackson Emery and Jimmer Fredette. These two guys complement each other tremendously. They both can knock down threes. We know about Jimmer in the open court and the great finisher. He has a great dribble drive. Jackson Emery is a very underrated ball player, Marius. He's a guy that last year did a great job defensively, can knock down threes. He's very athletic. But those two guys together, they make up one of the best backcourts in the conference.
That baseline move by Jimmer Fredette was a thing of beauty right there. He was just breaking ankles. But how about the play of Bradley? What did you see there that's kept Bradley hanging around? We got a 7-point ball game.
Well, once again, they don't have a lot of size. They don't have a post-up presence, but they do have some very good guard play. I call him Sam the Man. Maniscalco or Scalco. Maniscalco. See, not bad. And then Warren. Both guys knocked down threes. Sam the Man got to the foul line. So these are the two guys that have really kept him in the game. There's Sam the Man with the long three-point shot. He is a guy that is an assist leader. Warren sat out last year with an injury. He also averaged over 13 points the year before. So their backcourt has done a good job of keeping them in the ballgame.
And this is a team that has had some experience in the NCAA tournament, and they are hanging around. This is a team you don't want hanging around.
Oh, no, they're tough, hard-nosed. They won 21 ball games last year, Marius. They went to the Sweet 16 a couple years ago. Coach Les does a terrific job. This team can play some basketball, and they are hanging around.
Well, let's talk about another player from BYU. Brandon Davies showed some skills in the paint for the Cougars. You were impressed by what he showed you early.
Yeah, we talked about him in the pregame show. Here's a guy that's 6'9", has long arms, terrific feet. There's the great shot block. He only played 4 minutes because he picked up 2 fouls. But there you saw with the defensive effort, the high show, and he forces the turnover. This is a young man. The Mountain West Conference other opponents are saying, oh, no, not another big-time player. He has a chance to be a big-time player. How long it takes him, he is going to be effective, particularly on the defensive end. But this is a guy with some tremendous athleticism.
He is a young guy, and if he stays out of foul trouble, he is going to be a force to be reckoned with. Well, here's a look at the team stats after the first 20 minutes of play. Coach, you see there, BYU shooting 37.5% from the field, and you got to take it to the fact that Jonathan Tavanari started the game 0 for 6. It looked like he was rushing things a little bit out there, Coach.
Well, their offense never got in sync, Maurice. You're talking about a BYU team that is a terrific shooting team. They only shoot 37%. When BYU is clicking, and I'm not going to do John Madden on you, but it's click, pick, 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 and then knock down the shot. Pip, 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 shot. Instead, one pass and too much dribbling, and then kind of a forced shot. So look for BYU to get more rhythmic in the second half. I know Coach Rose will talk to him about we got to have more ball movement, too much ball stopping. Now, Jimmer Jammer can put the ball on the floor. He knocks down threes. He doesn't have an assist, however, in the first half. So that tells us they're not really ball movement that they need to be so successful. Look for BYU to play much better in the second half offensively.
But they're protecting the ball. They only have 3 turnovers in the first 20 minutes of play. play. And that's impressive in game number one.
Well, no question about it, particularly when you're playing so many players. Coach Rose went to the bench early and often. Guys got a lot of playing time, a lot of different combinations. So it is a terrific job of handling the basketball, but you saw they suffered offensively because they never really got in the rhythm. Hey, they still have the 7-point lead. They had some very good moments in the first half, but I look for BYU to play much smoother in the second half.
Great to see Coach Rose out there, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Not only a great coach, but a great person. The coaches in the league, he had visitors at his home during the summer. I'm talking about rivals that showed up because this guy's a better person than he is coach, and he's been the 2-time Coach of the Year in the Mountain West Conference.
He is a heck of a coach. Time for a quick break here on Halftime Live. And when we get it back, we'll get you caught up on some other scores from around the league, and we'll talk women's basketball. So keep it here.
Of some of nature's finest scenery lies the St. George, Utah and Zion National Park area, the gateway to the greatest concentration of national parks and natural wonders on Earth. Located just 90 minutes north of Las Vegas, you'll find stunning scenic gems like Zion National Park, Snow Canyon State Park, and Kolob Canyon. This Red Rock High Desert is home to some of the country's most scenic and affordable golf courses. The area is well known for some premier sports events, like the St. George Marathon, rated as one of the top 10 most scenic marathons in the U.S., and the Huntsman World Senior Games, attracting more than 10,000 participants from all over the world each year. Tennis, hiking, biking, and just about anything else you could do under the sun is available all year. The spectacular landscapes attract world-renowned artists, photographers, and writers who seek creative inspiration. Tuacahn Amphitheater is a highlight that shouldn't be missed. Art shows, concerts, and festivals add to the calendar of events that fill the bill for almost any visitor. St. George touts convention facilities and services unheard of for its size. The Dixie Center, a major meeting, convention, and trade show center, is a popular location for groups of all types and sizes. You'll find both local and national brands represented in shopping, dining, and lodging. The world-renowned destination spas can provide just the right environment for relaxing and rejuvenation. No matter where you go, you'll find a warm climate, a friendly atmosphere, a wide variety of activities, and spectacular surroundings to accommodate an unmatched vacation experience. For more information, call 888-876-UTAH or visit utahstgeorge.com.
As a boy, Scott Serra had a passion for sports. But he was quick to realize he was better talking about sports than actually playing them.
Brandon Heath's numbers again?
2,189.
Who's that dude with 5 touchdowns in one game?
Luke Staley.
Field goal percentage records?
Matt Nelson, 61.6%. You kidding me?
Scott Serra, still proving he's better talking sports than playing them. It's a numbers game. Wednesday at 5 on the Mountain.
We're at the break in Provo, Utah, as the Cougars lead Bradley by a score of 32-25, but we still have 20 minutes of basketball to play in the Marriott Center. Let's get you caught up on some men's scores from around the league. Colorado State is in Eugene, Oregon at the Basketball Travelers tip-off, and they beat UC Davis 91-75 behind 24 points from Andy Ogaday. TCU started the season at home and beat Mid-American Christian 74-69. In Idaho and Utah are playing in Salt Lake. Second half of this one, the Vandals lead 61-58 with 13:41 left. Now on the ladies' side, Kalani Moaki and Minnie Nielsen each had 14 points, and 4 Cougars were in double figures as BYU beat Utah Valley State 73-51. The Wyoming women beat DU behind 15 points from Emma Langford, and San Diego State opened up the road on the road at UC Irvine. The Aztecs ran away with the 64-42 win, and this year they are out to show the world that they belong at the top of the Mountain West, and Senator Paris Johnson is happy to have some depth in the middle this year.
I mean, it's great because last year I didn't have that much help. We didn't have Allison there. We had a couple freshmen to back me up, but having Allison and Jessica, be one of the backup players, it's it's great for me. I don't have to be in the paint getting smashed all the time, and it's like a stress reliever for me. It lets them work in there and me kind of outside my outside game, so I like it.
Well, Coach, San Diego State is stacked once again. They have high expectations as well. I mean, if you were Coach Beth Burns, would you have any concerns right now?
No, just make sure to get them to the game on time. This team is loaded. They have a tremendous backcourt. Janae Morris and Q Davis, senior starters, and the addition of Jessica Bradley, big-time player. Now you have the two inside, Paris Johnson, and Paris can slide out to the wing and play defense. She's got quick feet, and we know she's the human eraser. She leads the country maybe this year in block shots. And how about that Wyoming Cowgirls? They go on the road and beat a very good Denver team, 65-62. It's going to be a great year for women's basketball in the Mountain West Conference.
Well, Coach just said it. Wyoming beat Denver tonight, which is a great start, but it might be a long road for the Cowgirls, and head coach Joe Legursky is mentally prepared for an up-and-down season.
I know we have a great deal to work on. We're a young group, and when I say that, we have no seniors on this team, as well as most of the players have 1 year of experience of actual playing. So even though you look at Hillary Carlson, Jade Kennedy, Randy Richardson as juniors this year, they have basically played one season of experience on the court. So it's going to be one of transition, one of growing, and one of getting better as the year goes on.
All right, Coach, let's get back to the men's game. What type of adjustments do you think Dave Rose is asking for his team right now? You know, it seems like they rushed a lot of things in the first 20 minutes of play.
They played very good defense, but offensively, they never got their transition game going, and they did not have ball movement. Look for BYU to be sharper and passing the basketball. Crisp passes, and it tends to go, the ball tends to go in after 3 or 4 quick bip, 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 bip. I gave you to John Madden. Bip, 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 bip. Whap. And then they start making shots. Now, defensively, look for Brandon Davies to come big in the second half because he only played 4 minutes.
Give it to me again. Bip, 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 bip. Boom. All right, that'll do it for Halftime Live. After the break, it's back out to BYU as the Cougars try to pick up their first win of the season. We'll see you afterwards for Post Game Live. Take care, everybody.
It's not my problem.
Domino's new mix and match deal with any 3 or more oven baked favorites for just $5.55 each has got our chefs a little competitive.
Choose your own combination, but if you ask me, I'd start with pasta in a warm seasoned bread bowl.
I cannot lie. People love the pie.
My oven baked sandwiches can't be beat.
Magic Bread Bowl says
this is the best thing since sliced bread.
Chapow!
Okay then.
Choose any 3 or more one-topping pizzas, oven-baked sandwiches, or bread bowl pastas for only $5.55 each with the new Domino's Mix and Match deal.
Catch all your favorite Mountain West Conference action on our trio of networks, including The Mountain, CBS College Sports, and Versus. Get hundreds of games, in-depth analysis, and coverage of all Mountain West Conference championships. The Mountain West Conference Networks, your place to catch all the action.
You know, this is the 3rd Toyota truck I've had now, because I know I can count on them. Plus, Toyota trucks cost less to own than anything in their classes. So not only am I driving something tough and durable, I'm driving something smart.
Get a truck you can trust, like the best-selling compact truck in America, the Toyota Tacoma. Or get a Tundra with great leases or 0% APR financing for 60 months. To learn more, visit your local Toyota dealer.
Walk right in now, sit right down. Baby, let your hair hang down. Wow, now walk right in, sit right down. Baby, don't you wait so long.
For over 25 years, Great Clips has been the best value in haircuts. Just walk into any of our 2,700 salons today, and you'll see why there's no better time than now to give us a try.
Baby, let your hair hang down. Relax, you're at Great Clips.
Hey, Cougars and Utes fans, come show your football skills at the Mountain.
Cougars, as they lead the season off, lead by 7. It's got to be a pace, though, Joe, that was probably welcome to the Bradley Braves. They're in this thing. They've just got to figure out a way to knock down some shots and keep BYU in check.
Well, very low-scoring first half. Some of that attributed to very good defense. Some of it attributed to very bad offense.
Well, the reason BYU's out to the lead they are is this guy, Jimmer Fredette.
Terrific with the ball, terrific creating his own shot. Can really dance with it. Watch this crossover behind the back to the basket. I did think he was a little guilty of overhandling a little bit. And at the other end, sudden Sam Maniscalco, what an outstanding three-point shooter. This is a tough shot. Full run off a fast break. Ball reversal to him. Deep, deep three there. He's kept his team within shouting distance, Bill.
Well, he has. He's got 12 to lead all scores. And here's your Dodge keys to the game. Coach, you said before the game transition defense was going to be key. Bradley did a pretty good job.
They did. They matched up very good defensively and very quickly. They've kept it pretty close, the largest lead being 10 points for BYU. Not enough scoring in the paint, I don't think, and they've done a great job of limiting turnovers. They just need to be a little more fluent and let the ball or let the shots find them.
Well, I'll tell you what kept Bradley in this game in the first half, Coach. It was their free throw shooting. They made the first 10 free throws. Maniscalco, he had 6 for 6 at the line. They ended up 10 out of 12 in the first half. They're within shouting distance at 7. BYU's biggest lead was 10. Bradley had the first and only lead, their first and only lead of the game at 2-0. What do you say? What's Jim Les telling his guys right now?
Well, I think they've done a good job. I think both teams are playing hard and playing good defensively. I think Jim Les at halftime is telling his team, you know, we've got to get a few easier baskets. We've got to not fall in love with the three-point line. BYU, you talked about free throws, only 5 free throws, Bill, and I think that's pretty telling about their style of play offensively right now. They're kind of settling for shots and not driving the ball.
There's Tavernari. He missed his first 8 shots from outside. He has since made 3 in a row. He's now got 9.
Great pass by Chris Miles out of the post, catches it and look opposite, and Tavernari knows how to get to his shot.
Maniscalco the other way. He answers. 15 now for Sudden Sam.
That's one of those ball screens that the BYU staff was worried about. You're going to have to get out there and really get after Maniscalco coming off one of those ball screens.
Miles back outside. Tavernari will put it on the floor this time. That's not really his game, but got it to go nonetheless. He's in double figures now.
He's an amazing kid. I tell you, sometimes I'm a little critical of him, but boy, once he gets it going offensively, he can carry his team.
Both these teams have come out red hot out of the locker room. Haven't missed a shot yet here in the second half. Dunson, baseline, Doty cut off outside. Warren for 3. He got it to go.
Pretty good individual defense by Buo, and then I'm not sure how Tavernari was trailing his guys so badly there.
Miles muscles it up and in over the top of Sam Singh.
Big, strong kid, Chris Miles. Just a simple drop step, and like you said, just muscled it to the basket.
McCain to Dunson. Out front, Maniscalco. Emery down. Out on him. Sam fading from the free throw line. Barely drew iron. Fredette with the rebound.
That's really not his. Fredette can really create off the dribble. Maniscalco is not a great creator. He's a great shooter, but not a guy that can create shots the way that Fredette does.
Emery out wide. Top of the key. Abuo. He'll put it on the floor. Nice little jump hook runner. Too strong, though. Rebound Warren.
A little bit quicker pace early on this half than what we saw in the first half.
Quicker pace probably favoring BYU. Home team at altitude. Maniscalco. Dunson long 3 won't go. Singh battles for the rebound, comes up with it. Right at Miles. Kicks it back out front. Fresh 35 here for the Braves.
Nice job by Singh getting his team another possession there and then being smart enough to not force a shot and throw it back out and set the offense.
Singh, Maniscalco almost intercepted and taken away by Emery. Mismatch now. Maniscalco around Miles. Scuttles it back out to McCain. 10 now on the shot clock. Warren long 3. Too strong. Rebound battled for and Abuo comes down with it. Baseline, Abuo loses the handle. Bradley up with it now. Braves down 8. Here's McCain transition. Back outside Warren. Inside the arc. Short on the jumper. McCain with a rebound. Bradley not giving up. They're scrambling for a lot of loose balls here early.
Both teams really
Singh to the
gasping
basket.
here.
Finger roll off the window. Sammy Singh, his first 2.
Bill, one of the things you got to convince your team defensively is it takes all 5 guys to guard a ball screen. That time, Chris Miles did what he was supposed to do. Charles Abuo completely asleep on the weak side and not getting there to pick up that roll.
Whistle and a foul against Bradley. Maniscalco picks it up, his second, first on the Braves this half.
We talked about the pace being much quicker. Look at everyone out there collectively, hands on their hips, coaches going to the bench pretty quick. You know, there's both these teams, I'm sure their coaches have really conditioned them and worked them hard, but it's still early in the year to really have your game legs and be in game shape.
Jimmer Fredette hasn't reached double figures yet. Missed that first free throw. Sam Singh gasping for air as he comes to the bench. Edwin McCain also out. Roberts checking in. Egolf also in here for Bradley. We saw Jim Les rotate a lot of bodies through early. He'll have to do it again here in the second half. There's a rarity. 2 missed free throws by Jimmer Fredette.
I think fatigue may have had something to do with that. Fredette walking to the free throw line was really gasping for air.
Roberts baseline cut off, kicks it back out front. Egolf, big fella putting it on the floor. Maniscalco shuffling it back to Egolf. Baseline jumper. Kind roll here at the Marriott Center.
Well, Bradley,
and all of a sudden it's a 4-point game, Joe.
Just really spreading the floor, attacking BYU offensively off the dribble. And boy, just getting that ball in the crack and creating help situations.
Fredette baseline, high runner won't go. Roberts with the rebound. Bradley. Braves can cut it even closer here. Dunson spinning, push off, no whistle. Warren cut off on the baseline by Tavernari. Big possession here early second half of the Braves. Maniscalco out front to Warren. Just inside the arc. Jumper missing. Got his own rebound. Follows it up and in. Anthony Warren.
Hey, Bradley gaining a lot of confidence, feeling like, you know, they can get it done here in the Marriott Center. Coaches talk about the first 5 minutes of the second half, how important it is.
And an offensive foul against BYU. Foul goes on Emery, and we've got ourselves a 2-point game here at our first media timeout. Watch Warren miss the jumper. Hustle follows the shot. Coaches love that stuff. And the Braves are within 2. Back after this.
The Ohio State University.
The University of Texas Southern University.
California, Berkeley.
Old Dominion University.
Harvard University.
The University of Virginia.
Texas A&M.
Norfolk State University.
Georgetown University.
Arizona State.
Pennsylvania State University.
The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hi, I'm Marius Payton. And I'm Bill Dolman. We know you want the best coverage of your teams, and when it comes to watching games, nothing beats football in high definition.
That's right, we've listened to your feedback, and that's why we're closing out the season with football presented in HD.
For HD channel info in your area, log on to our website at themtn.tv.
And if you don't see your provider listed, give them a call and ask what channel you can watch to see the Mountain HD.
And we'll see you for football in high definition this weekend on the Mountain.
In my ride, chrome down spinners on the street. Yeah, honey's in my backseat. In my ride, ain't no cover charge for living large. Everyone's a VIP. So won't you take a seat, sit back, and let me take you around.
James Bates and Todd Christensen rolling through the Mountain West for another season of football, only on the Mountain.
Bradley trailed by 7 at halftime. They're only down a bucket here, and that man, Jackson Emery, the best defender on this BYU team, Coach, He's picked up his 3rd foul. That's not good news if you're Dave Rose.
No, that's not. And he's a matchup against Sam Maniscalco, who is leading BYU right now with 15 points. Brigham Young struggling right now, defending ball screens, struggling off the guarding guys off the dribble. And Bradley, obviously, that's their offensive game plan, is to spread the court, play one-on-one basketball, and create scoring situations. We got ourselves a pretty good game right now, Bill.
Braves on a 6-0 run right now. They have a chance to tie or take the lead this time down.
BYU, as they've done in the past, come out with a 2-3 zone.
Finish by Roberts. Oh my! High flying Chris Roberts.
Give Jim Les a big tip of the hat there. Coming out of that timeout with a back screen against this 2-3 zone. Great pass right at the rim. Boy, is that a momentum gainer there, Bill.
Misses the foul shot. We're tied at 39. 8-0 Bradley lead on the alley-oop from Maniscalco to Roberts.
That's interesting if Jim Les anticipated BYU coming out in that 2-3 zone, or if that's a play he could have used versus man or zone.
Lloyd stops the run with a jumper just inside the arc. 7 now for Michael Lloyd.
His 3rd basket. Michael Lloyd really shooting the ball well here and giving his team a little offensive lift.
Egolf with the screen. Maniscalco trying to free himself. In the lane, Egolf off the window. Oh, he missed it. Missed the easy one. Haws with the rebound. Jumper runner in traffic, in transition, won't go. And a foul on BYU. Let's go back just a moment ago. Look at this little dump off by Maniscalco.
Well, what a great job of playing that pick and roll there, Maniscalco. That's just like we talked about John Stockton to Malone. Unfortunately, Egolf was not a Karl Malone recipient at the end of that. But, boy, Sam Maniscalco, you can see why he's such a valuable player to this Bradley team.
Bradley again with a chance to tie or take the lead. Dunson, transition, baseline, won't go. Missed that one. Haws again with a rebound.
That's Haws' 7th rebound.
Fredette with a little runner. Won't go, but he will go to the line. Maniscalco picked up that foul. His 3rd. 2nd foul on the Braves, 3rd on Maniscalco. He'll come take a seat next to Jim Les.
Tyler Haws, obviously everyone expecting him to be a big scorer, and he will be, but what a great job he's done on the glass so far. 7 rebounds, his team's leading rebounder.
Well, Fredette, who missed back-to-back foul shots a minute ago, doesn't miss that time. 10 now, he's finally in double figures. Jimmer had 15, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists in that final exhibition game against Central Washington earlier this week. Got them both to go that time. Now 11 for Jimmer Fredette. Averaged 16 a game a year ago. 4-point lead now for the Cougars. Nice drive in the lane. Shot won't go. Battle for the rebound. Michael Lloyd down with it.
Bradley's got a couple great shots off that screen and roll, Bill, and they just killed themselves. Missed 2 of them right at the rim.
Lloyd corner, covered there. Back to Haws, curl, lane, reverse it up, won't go. Rebound, Davies, shot partially blocked. He'll go to the line.
Really nice rebound by Davies. Really getting to the glass, rebounding out of area. And what I like about this, watch him rebound it and go right back up strong with it.
Egolf picked up the 3rd. 3rd on Bradley this half, 3rd on Egolf.
They're going to have trouble keeping this kid off the court. He's just so athletic and so active. Watch him on defense down there, how attentive he is and how alert he is.
Good form on that free throw.
Yeah, it was.
A little long that time. Egolf's going to come out. Thompson back in the game here for Bradley.
That's what you call a good miss, Bill. It hit the back of the rim. If you miss left or right, you're doing something wrong, but short or long, at least he's shooting straight.
One more here for the freshman Brandon Davies from right out of Provo.
Dave Rose there. You don't see Dave Rose is not a ranter and a raver. He has this quiet toughness about him, though, I always say. And I guarantee you, the Cougars know who is the boss over there on the sideline.
Davies misses them both. Bradley hang tough. Baseline, Roberts shuffles it back out. McCain for three off the front iron. Long rebound to Warren. Baseline, shot up, misses. Foul on Tyler Hawks. I'll tell you this, Warren has a nose for the ball, doesn't he? Follows that shot really well.
He's a good player. He's really a good player. Again, a kid that averaged over 13 as a sophomore, broke his foot a year ago and set out the entire year last year. But you're right, he not only has a nose for rebounding, he's just got a nice feel for the game.
Warren now with 8, trying to add to that total. Give him 9. This is a kid that Jim Les right there told me we really need him to be big for us this year. He was a good player before he was hurt. We need Andrew Warren to have a big year. He's off to a good start.
Yes, he is. BYU may look at going back to that 2-3 zone. They played that one possession, gave up that home run play, that backside dunk, but they're having all kinds of trouble staying in front of the ball right now. Bradley doing a great job of executing. He's hurt himself with a couple easy misses.
Fredette loses the handle, gets his own rebound back, and shuffles it up and in. 13 now for Jimmer Fredette. Edwin McCain off to Roberts, who had the big throwdown a few moments ago. In the lane, Thompson shot up, and a blocking foul on the inside will go against Lloyd.
Bill, what Bradley's doing, spacing the floor so much that when that guy rolls to the floor, that weak side defender, if he's not right there, I'm not sure whether that was the foul on Lloyd or Hardsock coming over there, but almost an NBA type offense where they're spreading the floor, playing off the three-point line, and when that guy rolls, boy, someone's got to get over there and pick that roll up.
No shots. They'll say he was on the floor when he was fouled, so it's a side out of bounds here for Bradley. Roberts gathers it back to McCain now. 25 on the shot clock here for the Braves. Crowd into it now here at the Marriott Center. McCain out to Warren. Roberts will hoist a three. Short, up and over the top. And that's going to go back the BYU way. BYU in a bit of a battle here in their opener. Cougars by 4. We're back to the Marriott Center in Provo coming up next.
This thing rocks.
Lots of room back there in the back.
Heavy, top of the line. I mean, I can't think of a better word, but fantastic.
The all-new Dodge Ram 1500. The most award-winning truck of 2009 and winner of Strategic Vision's Total Quality Award.
Money is a part of life, not the focus. You don't save money to have money. You save for peace of mind and for a good future.
Explore the pageantry surrounding Mountain West sports with Traditions. On the premiere, Natalie Vickers goes inside game day rituals across the Front Range. With homecoming festivities in Wyoming.
Keep pushing.
It's a crazy workout. It's fun.
Stadium celebrations at CSU.
It's pretty nasty.
And Falcons take to the skies at Air Force.
It sends chills down your spine. I mean, anything that loud, you know, it gets you going.
Traditions, tonight at 10:30 on the Mountain.
Hinckley Alumni Visitor Center Tower here on the campus of Brigham Young University. And a bit of a tight one here tonight. I don't know if the faithful thought it was going to be quite this close against the Bradley Braves, but teams out of Missouri Valley and including this Bradley team, always very scrappy, very good basketball league. We talk about the Mountain West a lot in these parts, Joe, but that Mo Valley, always very good. Two very comparable leagues, if you ask me.
Well, they are, and I think this challenge, this Missouri Valley Mountain West Challenge, is great for both leagues because it forces guys to go places they probably wouldn't go. I mean, I don't imagine Jim Les would come out here and play, nor would Dave Rose go to Bradley and play. So I think you're going to see some great games around both leagues, and I think it's a good move for both leagues.
Jim Les told me this week he was a big proponent of these two leagues squaring off. Hartsock on the inside, nice move and a good look by Hawes. He told me, hey, I wanted to do this. He goes, I didn't know I'd draw the short straw, though, and have to play my first game of the year in Provo, Utah.
No, that's a real tough opener for Bradley, and this is a tough opener for BYU here.
2 for Hartsock, put BYU back up 6 here, 41, 47, 41, and then one right there for Bradley. Beautiful drive by the high-flying Chris Roberts. He'll have 1 and the bonus.
Well, he blows by Michael Lloyd Jr. there, which is not very good by Michael Lloyd. He's a smaller defender there. Davies pretty alert getting over there. As I said, Bill, BYU, which they anticipated, talking to their coaching staff, they anticipated having problems guarding Bradley one-on-one. Bradley has not run a lot of set stuff, but what they have done is very effective. Again, spreading the court, setting ball screens, and just attacking BYU one-on-one off the dribble.
Well, you saw Davies check out there. That's his 4th personal foul. 16 fouls here on BYU, so the freshman's on the bench for a little while next to Dave Rose and Dave Rice over there.
Kind of get the feeling that Dave Rose is looking for a combination here. He's played a lot of different kids. Tavanari out of the game right now.
Kane will be whistled for that hand check.
Looking, I think, for the right matchups defensively more than anything else.
First on McCain, 4th on Bradley. Anthony Thompson checks out. Sam Singh back in here for the Braves. Lloyd inbounds to Hawes. Good cut by Tyler Hawes, the freshman. Draws the contact. And he'll get to the foul line. Quick one. Ooh, wow, look at that one. Just 45 minutes up the road from us. Coach, you said you thought the Vandals would give Jim Boylan a battle tonight. Utah's got their hands full, down 5 with 6 to play.
And if you looked at the line on that, Utah was a 16-point favorite in that game. I should have bet your ranch on that, Bill.
Or the timeshare up in Pocatello.
There you go.
Hawes misses the first foul shot.
BYU now 5 for 12 from the free throw line, not helping themselves, leaving points up there on the free throw line.
Hawes gets the second one to go. 5-point BYU lead, 4 for Tyler Hawes, all at the foul line. 4 out of 6 at the foul line. Roberts out front, mismatch with Hartsock. Picks up his dribble. Maniscalco back in the game. Gets it back from Singh. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Roberts. Sims Edwards. Now McCain drives. Nice drive. Edrin McCain. Fredette makes you get back quickly, though, for BYU. And he'll scoop it up and in. Good one-on-one play by Jimmer Fredette.
That's what you call just taking the bull by the horns there. He just took the offense on himself and went baseline to baseline and scored it.
15 now for Fredette. He and Maniscalco, your game-high scorers right now. Sims Edwards nearly walked with it and did. David Hall just a little late on that whistle, but he got it right.
I told you Dave's kind of lost a half a step on that whistle there.
Dave's not going to be happy with you when he hears his broadcast.
Dave's a terrific official.
Worked Final Fours, a lot of big NCAA tournament games over the years.
And has the honor of giving me my first technical ever in my coaching career.
First of many.
No, I didn't get a lot, but he gave me my first.
I'll tell you, when you got him, though, you got your money's worth.
Dave is a great official and really a good guy.
BYU now, 5-point lead in the basketball. Fredette blocked by the underneath side of the basket. And a whistle out on the floor. Kelly Self got that one. And the foul goes on Sam Singh.
You know, I think both teams are playing really hard. I love what Bradley's doing offensively, but neither team, nothing to write home about defensively, Bill. A lot of breakdowns one-on-one, which first game of the year, you kind of expect that, but I guess that's what happens when you have a tough opener. But this is a tough opener for both teams. Neither one of them a cupcake.
Sims Edwards checks out along with Edgar McCain. Jimmer Fredette right at his season average of a year ago at 16. Give him 17 now. Jimmer Fredette. And a 7-point BYU lead. Same lead they had at the half.
Well, they kind of held that run off by Bradley. Those two that Bradley missed right at the rim really hurt him during that run.
And an over and back call. Roberts threw it in the backcourt. And it'll be a BYU basketball.
Well, those are one as a coach that just kill you. You come down, you're kind of hanging in there, and then you just turn around and throw it out of bounds.
Under 10 minutes to play now. Fredette and the Cougars 7-point lead. Tavernari foot on the line, jumper up and good. Boy, he's caught fire, Coach, after starting out 0 for 6.
Nice call.
13 now for Tavernari.
Nice call from the bench, running that little flare screen for Tavernari. That's a play they've run many times for him here.
Timeout on the floor taken by Jim Less. 9-point BYU lead. Let's send it back to Denver and Bill Dolman. Take it away, Billy.
And thank you, Bill. You know, you can't have basketball on the hoops without having Marty Fletcher in the Fletcher file. We saw the first one before the game. Marty, let's review a few of the focal points. Let's begin with Jonathan Tavernari. How's he doing?
Well, right on cue. He just hit his last shot. He got off to a slow start, 0 for 6, but then he came up big, started gathering himself, got in rhythm. He's hit 4 out of his last 5 shots. He is a key for BYU to be successful, not only in this ball game, but the entire season. So the Brazilian bomber has started to come up big.
How about the men in the middle? Not just Chris Miles, but he's got a few other guys in the paint that he works with.
Well, Bradley, Bill, plays really 3 guards, 2 forwards. They don't have a post up, so they're spreading BYU out. So Miles is not being very effective because there's no really post up game. But when you look at the big freshmen, I love what I've seen from the big freshmen. Davies has done a good job on that high screen, showing and taking away some penetration. And look for Davies to be. I'd like to see Miles and Davies maybe play together as the season goes on, and Tavernari at the 3 spot. And then I think I'm not going to tell Coach Rose what to do. He's been the coach of the year 2 years in a row. But when you look at those 2 guys together, I think that could be effective.
Not even talking about Jimmer Fredette. He has 17 points. He's playing extremely well in the season opener. All right, it's time now to get you back out to the boys in the Beehive State. Bill and Joe in Provo.
All right, 9:11 to play here. Thanks, guys. 54-45 BYU. Jonathan Tavernari, this little bucket here, this little step in, got him to 24th on the all-time BYU scoring list. 1,170 points. You know who he passed to go to number 24, Coach?
Well, I do now since it's on the screen. Randy Reed.
Randy Reed, pretty good little ball player here. Played for his daddy, Roger.
Yep. There was 2
Randy
Reed,
and Roger.
Yeah, 2 Reed brothers here playing for their dad.
BYU on a 6-0 run right now. They lead it by 9, 54-45. Out of the timeout, Bradley. And they went to him out of the timeout last time. That's Chris Roberts. Didn't get that one to go. Last time was a bit more dramatic on the alley-oop throwdown, but he will go to the free throw line.
Well, a junior college kid who came into Bradley last year and had a very, very good junior year after Stewart got hurt. Everyone knew that now they have Andrew Warren got hurt. With both those kids in the lineup, they are very long and athletic at those wing positions.
And Chris Roberts struggling a bit at the line tonight, 2 out of 5. As he fires that one up. Now 3 out of 6, a 74% foul shooter a year ago, and that ends the BYU run. Cougars by 8 here. We go under 9 minutes to play. Fredette out front, Abuo now with it. Tries to split the double team, loses it. Maniscalco's got it. Lost the handle, dribbled it off his foot and out of bounds. Sam wants a foul, and he may have been touched from behind, but he did lose the handle, and it's BYU basketball.
Tell you what I like about that play. Abuo turned it over, but didn't pout, got back and made a play on the ball. It'd been real easy for him to drop his head there and just trot back down the floor.
Fredette does split the double team, scoops it up and off the window. Won't go, but he will go to the foul line. Foul that time on Dodie Dunson, his second.
Kind of shows you how quick Fredette is with the ball to be able to split that double team like that. That's not an easy play. I've had a lot of kids try to do that. The completion rate of that is about 1 or 2 out of 10. Fredette made it look easy.
I think it's helped too. Not only is he quick, but he's pretty strong. He's a strong kid too, Joe.
He was a good football player. Played football all the way up to his junior year and was contacted by some pretty big name football teams. Was never offered because he didn't play his senior year, but was a linebacker and a running back in high school.
19 now for Fredette. BYU matches their biggest lead of the game at 10. Crowd back in this one. Hartsock on the show. Got a piece of Dodie Dunson as he went by. Foul on Hartsock.
It's tough to teach those big defenders like Hartsock to get out there and show on that screen and forget about your guy. Hartsock was trying to show and then get back to his guy. You have to let your guy go and depend on your teammates to pick him up. Again, it takes all 5 guys to defend that. Hartsock, one more step and he'd been in great shape there. That's a tough thing to teach big guys.
Dunson too strong on the foul shot. Senior from out of Bloomington. By way of Vincennes Junior College. By way of Iowa State. Well-traveled Dodie Dunson.
He is well-traveled.
Fredette tried to fire that one inside. Warren up with it. Leaves it for Maniscalco. Tracks it down. Sammy wants it back now. Under 8. Maniscalco trying to get by Abuo. Shot rejected by Abuo. Good defense by Charles. To the corner, Tavanari 3. Too strong. Roberts with a rebound.
Really nice defense by Abuo. His feet enabled him to get that block. He stayed down, guarded the second move, and then through his athleticism got up and got the block.
Crowd giving it to Maniscalco right now. Roberts, he'll try his effort on Abuo. Hanging, shooting, got it to go. Friendly roll for Chris Roberts.
He earned that one. Abuo, again, great lateral quickness, really defending. That's 2 straight turnovers by Jimmer Fredette.
Too far from Fredette to Lloyd. Bradley hanging around here. 7:12 to play. Braves down 8.
Shining like a beacon, spanning the rugged and breathtaking landscape of the West, the Mountain West Conference leads the way. From deep in the heart of Texas to the California coast, the 9 great universities of the Mountain West Conference rise up to meet the challenges and forge ahead. A zest for life and the spirit of adventure take you to new heights. This is your destination. This is the Mountain West Conference.
The Mountain goes one-on-one with the prominent people in sports on A Conversation With. Coming up.
Hi there, I'm James Bates. And you know what? I never get tired of learning about these great coaches in the Mountain West Conference. And you can learn a lot about Coach Bronco Mendenhall on the next Conversation With.
This coaching career has to be examined against how much time I can be with my kids. And so I'm always cognizant of that because I really valued my time with my dad growing up.
A Conversation With. Sunday at 7 on the Mountain.
Crowd enjoying the opener here tonight. Regular season beginning with BYU leading Bradley by 8, 7:12 to play here at the Marriott Center. Bill Riley and Joe Cravens with you. We counted down the stretch. It was kind of defense on that last run last time down, Joe, that kind of got it going. That guy there, well, not him. Guy just walked out of your screen. Charles Abua with a nice little block, huh?
It really was. Abua, great footwork against a smaller guard, Sam Maniscalco. And, again, his feet kept him in position. He stayed down, was able to make a great defensive play.
Maniscalco and the Braves down 8. Warren with Tavernari on him, tries to force it inside. Knocked away from BYU out of bounds. Stays here with Bradley. Well, here's tonight's leaders of the game, brought to you by the United States Marine Corps. The few, the proud, the Marines. Sam Maniscalco out of Chicago with 15, and Jimmer Fredette, 10 of his 19 coming here in the second half. Foul on the floor that time. And Jackson Emery, that's now 4 on Jackson Emery.
No, he has set a lot this half, and that took the best defender. I think that may be a product of just not being quite warm. I was interested to see if Coach Rose would take him out or let him play this last 7 minutes, or at least try to with 4 fouls. Probably a wise move, so they'll have a veteran like him down the stretch here in like the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Senior Dodie Dunson misses again. He missed the front end a second ago and does it again here, and so Bradley can't close that 8-point gap.
Bill, as competitive a game as this is, it looks like a first game, doesn't it? A lot of missed free throws, guys throwing the ball all over the place, trying to force passes.
Jimmer Fredette forces a 3 there, and Roberts yanks down a big rebound for Bradley. Roberts has had a nice second half. 7 of his 9 here in the second half. Some big rebounds, a big alley-oop throwdown as well. Andrew Warren, Tavernari on him. Cut by Singh, poked away by Lloyd. Abua ahead to Tavernari. Too strong, tip won't go. Abua, a second try won't go. Hartsock finishes.
Great hustle by both those young kids, following up the layup. They got back-to-back offensive rebounds. Always follow what you think is going to be an easy-made shot, and one day you'll get a putback like that.
Another big possession here for the Braves, down 10. Under 6 to play. Inside, Singh working on Hartsock, backing his way in. Jump hook rejected.
Nice job by Hartsock, staying down, staying between his man and the basket, not creating offense by creating an open lane to the basket. 2 back-to-back nice plays by Hartsock.
Good defense by Andrew Warren there, jumping in the passing lane. Go back down to the other end for just a minute. Here's Hartsock.
Watch him stay down, stay down, stay down, and then make the play.
Timeout on the floor. Jim Les wants to talk it over with his guys here, Joe. Down by 10 with 5:27 to play. Do you like the timeout?
Yeah, I do. I think this next possession, they had the ball down 8 with a chance to cut it to 6. Now it's back to 10. They need to keep it in single digits, Bill, and they've got to make another little run here in the next couple of minutes. They've kind of hung in there and hung in there.
Well, this copyrighted telecast of the Mountain West Conference is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience, and any retransmission, reproduction, rebroadcast, or any other use, dissemination of this telecast, or the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Mountain West Conference and Joe Cravens is expressly prohibited.
Thank you very much. As we approach the stretch here, Bill, at the 5-minute mark, again, Bradley needs to put a couple buckets up there. They need to continue to do what they have been doing by stretching the defense. And BYU, on the other hand, Coach Rose is telling his guys, don't be in a hurry. Now that the clock is our ally now, let's take a little time off the clock. Let's take a good shot when we get it, but no just one pass to a long shot here.
Well, if you're Bradley, do you got to get Sam Maniscalco back involved? He got his 15th point very early in this second half. He's been quiet ever since. Now, he's been having to do a lot on both ends of the floor, but he's kind of that heart and soul, that leader of this team, and he's the offensive leader now. Do you have to get him a look?
Well, now would be a good time to run a set play for him. I've not seen Bradley run a set play yet. It's been kind of this spread offense, so to speak, so it'd be interesting to see if they run something for him to get a look. You think all his points, Bill, none of them have come off of set plays yet.
BYU basketball, 10-point lead for the Cougars. Lloyd, a quick three, got it!
Man, oh man. His fourth jumper of the game. He has been a great boost to them offensively. A kid that redshirted last year. If he can do that consistently, he will really help this Cougar team.
Roberts back to Warren. Jumper good and one. It's a big basket for Andrew Warren and the Bradley Braves.
That was the play we were looking for. This is the second or third time that Tavenari has trailed off of that little up screen there on that curl. Buo, good individual defense. And then a cardinal sin of defense is to foul a guy on a three-point attempt. And that's exactly what Jonathan Tavenari did, with a chance to give up a four-point play here.
Andrew Warren gets it to go. Matches his average from a couple of years back at 13 points now. Second leading scorer for this Bradley team on the night.
That wasn't great defense by Tavenari, but that was a tough shot.
There was some good defense by Bradley. Egoff comes down with it ahead to McCain. To Warren, open three. In and out, no good. Egoff after the loose ball. Out of bounds, off the leg of whom? I think they're going to say it's off of Noah Hartsock. It will stay with Bradley. Good hustle by the big fellow running the floor, Will Egoff.
I tell you, I like this Bradley team. They're a tough matchup for anyone. I always say, Bill, you can cause more mismatches playing small than you can playing big.
Out front, a whistle on Charles Abuo. And BYU over 10 team fouls right now. It's double bonus time for the Bradley Braves.
Silly foul by Abuo. Grabbed his jersey there. Boy, that's just a gimme there, sending the that's not Warren, is it? That's
no,
Roberts to the free throw line.
Bradley opened the game hitting their first 10 free throws. They've now just hit 4 of their last 11. 10 points now for Chris Roberts.
And that stat will loom big if they end up losing this game. You know, really shooting yourself in the foot, leaving so many points on the free throw line.
One more for Roberts. Got them both. 11 now for Chris Roberts. And again, the Braves not going away, down just 8.
Okay, with Roberts and Warren at the wings, Bill, they're a tough matchup for anybody.
Very big, rangy, athletic wings. Fredette. And a foul out on the floor. Edwin McCain whistled for it. 8th team foul on Bradley, 2nd on McCain. 1-and-1 coming here for Jimmer Fredette.
Fredette being ultra aggressive there as he received that down screen, and when he decides he's going to the basket, he's pretty hard to stay in front of himself.
Brandon Davies back in here for BYU. He's got 4 personal fouls. Out of the game goes Noah Hartsock. Fredette 6 out of 8 at the line tonight. Very rarely moves the net, does Jimmer Fredette, when he shoots a free throw.
No, he's really a gifted player offensively. He's not. Some guys are great shooters. He's a great shooter with everything else that goes with it. He can really create his own shot. That ball's on a string when it's in his hand.
21 now for Jimmer Fredette. Lead back to 10 for BYU. Maniscalco swings it on the wing. Roberts a long three. Bottoms. Got it to go. 7-point game.
That high ball screen, when Egoff rolled to the basket, he drew Hawes over to pick up the roll, and then Hawes' guy filled in behind, and that's how he got to the three-point shot.
And the big fella walked with it that time, Brandon Davies. He's a freshman, Joe. I mean, he's a big freshman big man. He'll make a great play, and then he'll come back and make a freshman play.
Yep. Tried to go a little bit too quick then.
30-second timeout taken here by Dave Rose. Here's that last three back at the other end by Chris Roberts.
If you watch this big guy roll here and draw Tyler Hawes to him, Marty's son, Tyler Hawes, and then Roberts fill in right behind him. And that's how he got to that. A little bit of a roll and replace there. Pretty tough to guard.
It's been a second half of runs, Joe. Bradley opened it with a 6-0 run. BYU came back with a 6-0 run of their own. Bradley now on an 8-2 run. to make it a 7-point game, and they've got the basketball with 4:03 to play.
Well, again, they've kind of hung around what is exactly what they needed to do. If they can get a score here, well, that really puts the heat on the Cougars then.
Final score up the road tonight from the Huntsman Center, and so things don't begin so well tonight for Jim Boylan and the Runnin' Utes, beaten by Idaho at home 94-87. Not a lot of defense in that one. That will not make Jim Boylan very happy.
No, not giving up 94 points. Remember last year Utah started off by losing to a Division II team,
Southwest Baptist,
and then went on to win the league and the conference championship. So I wouldn't tear my season tickets up if I were you Ute fans.
Still not the way they wanted to start. Maniscalco out front, though. Got a little bump, played off the bump. There's Davies again with a bump. Here's a long three up, short. Rebound battled for, loose on the floor. They'll go after it. BYU up with it. Lloyd back to Tavernari. Layup missing, tip missing. Davies won't get it to go, but he will go to the line. Timeout on the floor, 3:31 to play. Free throws when we get back. BYU by 7.
It's quiet on the home front. Not a lot of activity. You read the news, and yet some people need to sell, and other people want to buy. This is a moment of challenge and opportunity. Fortunately, RE/MAX agents have the experience to help you meet the one and recognize the other.
Thanks.
Because the future's counting on us. Nobody sells more real estate than RE/MAX.
The number of flu cases will soon be on the rise, and with the recent onset of the H1N1 virus, many people are concerned about their health and safety. We can all fight the flu virus by taking 4 simple steps. Number 1, get vaccinated every year. Number 2, if you do have the flu, stay home so you avoid spreading it to others. Number 3, always cover your sneezes and coughs. And number 4, wash your hands frequently. For the latest information and flu prevention tips, please visit flu.gov.
The Mountain, your home for Mountain West basketball.
Going coast to coast. Oh, basket and a foul.
It's total basketball coverage.
All season long.
Got pass, dirt shot, look at that.
The Mountain West plays here.
Sends Bora airborne and he drills one.
Only on the Mountain.
Where the West is won.
Wednesday, men's coverage tips off with pregame live at 5:30, followed by Utah State and Utah at 6, and Nevada UNLV at 8:30, right here on the Mountain.
Well, we've kept it interesting here tonight. The Bradley Braves have not gone away here on the road at altitude in the opener. BYU, the prohibitive favorite to win the Mountain West Conference, leading by 7 here with 3:31 to play, and their big freshman Brandon Davies will have some free throws. But Joe, credit the Braves here. Not an easy place to come into play at, and they've been tough throughout here, haven't gone away.
Boy, they really have. They've really played to their strength, too. They've taken it right at BYU off the dribble. They've spread the floor. Remember, they're playing without one of their big starters. They're starting 4-man, and I think they've done a terrific job, and still with a chance to come away with a win here.
Yeah, if you missed it off the top of the broadcast tonight, Taylor Brown, the sophomore forward out of Atlanta, was held out of tonight's game for a violation of team rules, so he has not played. So Bradley Danaman done a very good job here tonight. Here's the freshman from right here in Provo, Brandon Davies. Third free throw missed tonight for Davies. It's Jackson Emery. Where's number 4, playing with 4 personal fouls right now. Tyler Hawes checks out. One more free throw here for the big fella. Got that one to go. 3 points now for Brandon Davies. He'll check out. Noah Hartsock back in here.
Watch Dave Rowe start substituting offense and defense here. Now he took Davies, a better offensive player, out for Hartsock, who's a better defensive player. Watch and see if he doesn't do that the rest of the game, this last 3 minutes.
8-point BYU lead here, 64-56. Warren baseline. Tough shot, couldn't get it to go. Rebound Emery. Oh, that had to hurt. He landed right on the basketball.
Great hustle play by Jackson Emery. I was talking to John Wartenberg, the assistant coach for BYU, and I said, Emery's a little bit beat up. He said Emery's always a little bit beat up. He said that kid makes so many hustle plays. That was a huge rebound there. If Bradley gets that and puts it back in, boy, the noose gets a little bit tighter around BYU's neck. Not only is it a great hustle play, now he gets a chance to kick in a couple free throws.
Might be the best all-around athlete on this BYU basketball team as well. Jackson Emery knocks down that free throw. Was an all-defensive team player a year ago. 4 points now for him. Player of the year in the state of Utah. And he's one of the team captains on this squad this year, too. Leads by example now with 5.
Big free throws there.
10-point lead again for the Cougars. Bradley can't afford many empty opportunities, can they?
No. And they may even have to start fouling after this possession if they don't score.
Baseline, stepped out of bounds. That's a tough turnover right there, and he may have rolled his ankle a little bit too. BYU basketball.
How valuable is Jackson Emery? Great individual defense. Took a bigger, stronger player, just turned him out defensively there. Great footwork. Back-to-back great plays by Jackson Emery.
So BYU with a basketball and a 10-point lead as we go under 3 to play.
Using the clock a little bit now.
Jimmer Fredette will keep this ball in his hand. Looking for a screen and a reach-in foul on Maniscalco.
If I were scouting BYU and was talking about Fredette individually, he loves to take that ball away from the ball screen. He takes it right up to the ball screen, kind of plays peekaboo with it, and then takes it back against the grain. That's about the 3rd or 4th time he's done that tonight, and he does it very effectively.
22 now for Jimmer Fredette.
He's pretty handy, Bill, I'll tell you. Yeah. He's going to score a whole bunch of points this year.
10 out of 12 at the foul line right now for Jimmer Fredette. 23 in the ball game.
And that's a key to scoring a lot of points, getting yourself to the free throw line like he does.
12-point Cougar lead, 2.5 to play.
You see BYU switching every ball screen now, 1 through 5 it looks like.
Maniscalco fading, that one short. McCain with a nice rebound, and he's fouled. Good hustle play that time by Edrin McCain. One thing Bradley's done a good job all night long following that ball.
Watch this switch here. I'm not sure that was supposed to be a switch, putting a big man on Maniscalco. Nice rebound by McCain getting in there. I think what BYU is doing is switching 1 through 4, which means Tavenari on down through the guards. I'm not sure Hardsock was supposed to switch on that last one. Maybe so.
McCain just a 61% foul shooter a year ago. Got that one to go. 5 points and 4 rebounds in the game for him right now. That one came up short. Emery with a rebound.
Well, Dave Rose made a great move. Emery got his 4th foul with 7 minutes to go.
Tavernari probably not so well advised to try and fire that one into Hardsock.
No.
Out of bounds it goes. Bradley basketball.
Just an example trying to force a play again. I was talking about Emery. Dave Rose took him out, had him for the last 3 minutes, and all he's done is come in and make about 3 or 4 terrific plays.
McCain baseline, cut off by Tavernari, and Tavernari picks up the foul.
Well, tough matchup. Tavernari basically a power forward here at BYU. Woo, boy, I'm not sure about that. Guarding their point guard. Did a pretty good job. Kept his hands out, moved his feet.
McCain back to the foul line. You'll notice Tavernari wearing 24 this year instead of the 45 he's worn. Big Kobe Bryant fan, apparently. And he's paying homage or honor to Kobe Bryant with that number 24.
You know, that just doesn't surprise me in some form. Nice rebound. Tavernari led his team in defensive rebounds last year and in steals.
Had 7 a game a year ago, and now Dave Rose wants a timeout with just under 2 to play and a 10-point lead. three guys back in Denver. We'll have the wrap-up on this one when we get done. Marius Payton, Bill Dolman, and Marty Fletcher take you through. Post-game live coming up when we're done here. We'll get you a little interview with the victorious head coach here, and probably have some player interviews for you as well coming up when we're done.
Bill, the Utes being beat by Idaho tonight. It doesn't get any easier. Next Wednesday, they've got the Aggies from Utah State. Idaho picked 4th in the WAC. Idaho State, with 4 starters back, picked to win the WAC in a huge in-state game. So the Utes back to the drawing board pretty quick.
Now, there was some question this year. Who was the best in-state team? Was it the BYU Cougars picked first in the Mountain West, or was it the Utah State Aggies picked first in the WAC? Both are potential NCAA tournament teams. Yeah, they were a prohibitive preseason number 1. 1 vote going to San Diego State, but everybody really likes the job that Dave Rose has done building this program, what he had coming back this year.
Well, 4 starters back from a team that shared part of the league title last year, but they were overwhelming favorites.
Roberts with a steal and a lay-in. And Bradley still not going away. 16 now for Roberts.
If they don't foul this possession, they're going to have to foul the next. Pretty good foul there by McCain.
Head over heels went Edrin McCain that time. And you can best believe that Jimmer Fredette's going to have that ball in his hands the rest of this game. 9 in the first half for Fredette. He's got 14, coach, here in the second half to go with 4 assists and 5 rebounds.
Well,
23 on the game.
I thought the second half he did a lot better job of being aggressive, but kind of letting the game come to him. I thought he overhandled the ball a little bit in the first half. He's terrific with the ball, but there's a fine line there when you hold on to it too long, and I didn't think he did that at all the second half.
Put them both in. 25 now for Jimmer Fredette. His career high is 28. Maniscalco dishing it inside. Thompson wasn't ready for it. Quick hands if Tavernari came up with it. And this one's likely to go the way of the Cougars here unless something changes dramatically in the final minute and 18 seconds. Coach, how do you like this team moving forward from what you've seen here tonight?
Well, this was a tough opener for them. Not only was it tough because Bradley is a good team, but a tough matchup for them. Bradley playing small all night. I think it was a great test for the Cougars, and I think it'll give Dave Rose and his assistants a lot of ammunition, a lot of things to show his team that they got to work on. But I guarantee you they'll be very well coached and they'll be really good down the road.
Long rebound. BYU's got it. The crowd here sensing. We've all sensed for just the last couple of moments. BYU's in control. About a 17-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock here. Fredette with the ball in his hand. He'll take it all the way down. Fredette drives. Shot rejected away and out of bounds. Roberts said not this time. 8 on the shot clock, 24 on the game clock. Fredette to inbound here for BYU. Finds Tavernari. Off the window. Won't go. Tip won't go. Rebound Warren. Andrew Warren running the other way. Transition runner off the glass. Won't go. Tavernari holds on to it. Shot clock's off. And BYU can just dribble this one out. So after finishing last year in the NCAA tournament with a loss, they'll open this year against a quality team out of the Missouri Valley. Big win here for the BYU Cougars, 70-60. They beat back the Bradley Braves tonight. Jimmer Fredette leading all Cougars in scoring, 25 points. 13 points for Tavernari, 10 points tonight for Michael Lloyd. On the other side, Bradley led in scoring tonight by Chris Roberts, 16. Sammy Maniscalco had 15 tonight. And Warren tonight, Andrew Warren, 13 points for the Bradley Braves. So good effort here tonight for BYU in the opener as they exchange pleasantries. Let's kick it down to the floor. Joe Cravens with head coach Dave Rose. Go ahead, Joe.
Dave, congratulations on a pretty hard-fought win tonight.
Yeah, we knew it'd be a really tough game. You open your season with basically a conference opponent, and knew it'd be like a conference game. And our experienced guys really kind of pulled us through there at the end. But that's a tough team to guard. Coach Les does a great job spreading that floor, and there's a lot of space you got to guard. But good win for our players. Good win.
Well, I thought your guys had great effort defensively, but like you say, the way they spread you out, it was tough.
It was really tough. And they're, really athletic. They got good shooters. They're really well coached. And that's a really good win for our team, especially this early in the season.
Coach Jimmer Fredette picked as the player of the year preseason-wise. I thought the second half he settled down a little bit and let the game come to him.
Yeah, we had the first half was not like us. We were taking 27-footers when we should take 21-footers. And, you get a lot of that 5 or 6 months off, and you anticipate a lot of things. But I thought in the second half we settled down and played a lot more like ourselves.
Well, I like your team, Dave, and given what you went through this summer, it's great to see you out here, partner.
It's great to be here. I can tell you that, Joe.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, thank you, Joe. Thank you, Coach. BYU and that man, Dave Rose, victorious tonight. 25 points tonight from Jimmer Fredette. And the BYU Cougars open up the 2009-2010 campaign with a resounding 70-60 win. Up next for them, Idaho State on Tuesday night. Up next for us, we'll send it back to Denver. Marius, Bill, and the coach, Marty Fletcher. From here in Provo, good night.
And welcome back to Denver. This is Post Game Live with Marius Payton and Marty Fletcher. I'm Bill Dolman. The new hoop season is underway.
Oh, yeah.
BYU has gotten off to a good start. To no one's surprise, it was an excellent start with the Cougars getting a win tonight over Bradley in the opening game of the Missouri Valley Mountain West Challenge.
1 Mountain West, 0 Bradley right now. Let's start breaking this one down. And, Coach, how about the play of Jonathan Tavanari in the second half? He started the game 0 for 6 from the field, but found his stroke as the game went on.
Yes, he really did, Morris. He let the game come to him. He got some terrific outside shooting, hit the first 2 shots of the second half. The Brazilian bomber really settled down in the second half, and he went to the glass. Remember, he averaged over 7 rebounds a game last year. There you have it, 5 for 16, 13 points, and 4 rebounds.
Did it look like he was forcing things as the game started a little bit?
Well, you heard Coach Rose. The entire team was forcing things in the first half. They were jacking 27-footers instead of the 21-footers. BYU is known for their crisp, sharp passing and their ball movement. They didn't have that in the first half, and it was not just JT. It was the entire ball club. Second half, much better rhythm. They shot a much higher percentage. They only shot 37% in the first half, and that's unusual at home.
This game, when you take a look at the final score, it looks like, BYU had a comfortable victory, but Bradley was pretty scrappy in there. Sam Maniscalco and Andrew Warren were the high-point guys for Bradley, but you really got to commend Jim Les and his team for coming in and playing the way they did, especially those 2 guys.
Well, this is a team that won 21 ball games last year, Bill. Sweet 16 a couple years ago. This is a tough, scrappy basketball team. Their guard play, they combined for 28 points. As you mentioned, Warren had 13. Maniscalco had 15. Leads them in assists. But this is a team that they don't play a post player. They spread you out. They have high ball screens. BYU struggled at times in the second half, but eventually they got some stops and went down and scored. A real fine basketball game. A very good opening game for both teams.
Taking a look at the numbers for the 2 guards for Bradley, as already said, combined for 28 points, 7 of 23 from the floor. They'd certainly like to see that improve just a little bit. Very good from the line. Reasonable day in terms of rebounds and assists.
Coach, let's talk about Jimmer Fredette. What a game he had, 25 points. You got to get another nickname from him. Jimmer just not doing it. 25 points for this guy. I mean, the preseason conference player of the year.
How about Danny?
Well, as you guys recalled, last year at this time, I did suggest that he'd be the next Danny Ainge. You laughed at me. You ridiculed me. You almost ran me off the set. Well, after his sophomore year, first team, all conference, then, of course, preseason, what great respect throughout the league. They pick him as the preseason MVP. Here you have him. He really gets it going in the second half. He had 4 assists in the second half. He also puts the ball. He goes 12 for 14 from the foul line. So if you close down on him, he'll take it by you. He has that great dribble drive, tremendous finisher, and he'll knock down threes. Jimmer Fredette, big-time game, 25 points.
Let's take a look at the final numbers. You're in midseason form already. All right, let's take a look at the final numbers. 70-60 is the final score. Respectable night for BYU. They'd love to see that field goal number go up. Usually that's a team that can hit around 50% throughout the course of a season. 7 of 19 from behind the big arc, 19 of 27 from the line, out-rebounding the Braves by 12, and only 11 turnovers in the season opener. So a pretty good night all around for BYU. All right, let's go back to the Marriott Center. Joe Cravens is with the preseason player of the year, Jimmer Fredette.
Jimmer, congratulations on a pretty tough game.
Yeah, definitely. It was a good game for us for the first regular season game. We were excited to come out and play, and obviously Bradley's a very good team. They had a lot of experience playing in the summer. They went to Brazil, so they had some games in the summer already as a team. So we knew it was going to be a tough battle, come from a tough conference, and we're grateful to come out with a win.
I felt like the first half your offense was a little disjointed. Do you feel like you settled down a little bit the second half?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was just a little bit of jitters in the beginning. First regular season game, we had a great fan support tonight. And they were playing good defense. They were pressuring us, and we got it settled down in the second half and started making some baskets.
Well, I think you guys got a fine team. We really look forward to following you this year. Best of luck to you and the team, Jim.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Okay. See you.
Coach, he talked about the jitters that they have coming out in the first game of the season. Is that something that a lot of teams go through that you've coached?
Absolutely. Well, the teams I coached had jitters throughout the whole game. But you're going to have first game jitters, and sometimes it happens on the offensive end, sometimes it happens on the defensive end. BYU only shooting 37%. Now, they did shot selection was poor, according to Coach Rose. We said it at halftime, and he said the same thing to his team. They came out and did a much better job. But when you talk about the point guard, most of the time point guard means you set up the offense, you make assists. This guy takes it literally, and he puts points in the basket. 25 points, leading assist man. He also had 5 rebounds. So a tremendous first game for the preseason MVP.
He is a player. Well, time now to get you out to Provo and hear from the guys who had a bird's eye view of the contest. We bring in the game announcers, Bill Riley and Cowboy Joe Cravens. And Coach, the Cougars started the game off a little shaky offensively, but eventually came around. Was this Cougar team as crisp as you would have expected for a team expected to win the Mountain West Conference crown?
Well, I thought it was a very typical first game on both teams' part. A lot of mistakes offensively, a lot of mistakes defensively. I thought the Cougars tried to force the issue individually a little bit too much offensively the first half, but I guarantee you Dave Rose's staff will get that straightened out. They've got a lot of weapons, a lot of nice young players. They're going to be a very good player in not too long from now.
Well, Billy and Joe, at this time last year, if you recall, the guys on the set recall, I said Jammer Fredette would be the next Danny Ainge. They laughed at me. They ridiculed me. I believe, Joe, you even snickered at me. I'm not sure. But this guy, after a sophomore year, first team all-conference, preseason MVP, and he had a fantastic second half, 25 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Both of you guys talk a little bit about Jammer Fredette.
Well, Marty, I would never doubt you, the soothsayer of all things Mountain West basketball. Those guys on the set, they can laugh at you. We've got your back out here. We love Jimmer Fredette. This kid, he's a big-time player. He's got a great combination. We talked about this on the broadcast, of both size and strength and pretty good quickness as well. The other thing he has, Joe, is that cockiness and that killer instinct, and I mean that in a good way.
Well, he's always been a big game player. If you go back to his freshman year, he had 24 points in the NCAA game against Texas A&M. Right. I thought he overhandled the ball a little bit, especially in the first half. But, boy, he's got that thing on a string. He can really dance with it. He just has to be careful that he doesn't handle it too long and get off of it and get the ball reversed. But he's very talented.
Let me just say this. We're going to be laughing at Marty from now until the end of the season and perhaps until the end of the time. I don't know what kind of sugarcoating you guys are trying to do out there. But let me ask you about, Joe, let me ask you about this because, and Bill, chime in as well. You echoed the sentiments for all of us, Joe, when you talked to Dave Rose after the game. It was just great to see him out there coaching his team, doing what he loves to do in leading the Cougar basketball program. What was it like out there when he took to the floor before the game, and how cathartic was it for him and his team to get the season underway after what has been a very difficult last few months?
Well, I've heard him say, in reference to what he went through this summer, that every time he has a chance to step on the floor, to coach his kids, that he appreciates it so much more. He is such a great representative of college basketball and of this community. There's just not enough time and enough words for me to say what Dave Rose means to college basketball, and he's done it in a first-class way. He always has. He's earned everything he's got as a coach. Again, I'm just so happy to see him out here. I had a chance to compete against him as a coach. He's a great friend, and it almost brought tears to my eyes to see him just out here healthy and doing what he loves to do.
Well, I feel the exact same way. I was with Jim Boylan, the coach of Utah, this summer when he got the news that Dave was sick, and he was taken back and very emotional by it. Dave Rose is so well liked and so well appreciated by fans and players and coaches, guys like us in the media, that we're just happy to see him out here doing his thing and doing his thing at a very high level. And when you've got a team like this, guys, a team that's going to win a lot of games for you, it makes you very much appreciate everything you have. And I think he told you that, Joe, didn't he?
No question. We're just happy to see him back in the saddle again.
Absolutely.
All right, Bill and Joe, thank you so much for tipping off the season for us. Congratulations on not having to spend your night with Marty. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
We're going to take our first break here on Post Game Live. When we come back, we'll go back to Provo and have those guys put in some overtime and see if we can hear a little bit more from the victorious Cougars.
Money isn't really about money. Loans aren't about getting things. They're about living and about fulfilling dreams.
Ohio State University.
The University of Texas Southern University.
California, Berkeley.
Old Dominion University.
Harvard University.
The University of Virginia.
Texas A&M.
Norfolk State University.
Georgetown University.
Arizona State.
Pennsylvania State University.
The few, the proud, the Marines.
Domino's new mix and match deal with any 3 or more oven baked favorites for just $5.55 each has got our chefs a little competitive.
Choose your own combination, but if you ask me, I'd start with pasta in a warm seasoned bread bowl.
I cannot lie. People love the pie.
My oven baked sandwiches can't be beat.
Magic Bread Bowl says,
this is the best thing since sliced bread.
Chapow! Okay then. Choose any 3 or more one-topping pizzas, oven-baked sandwiches, or bread bowl pastas for only $5.55 each with the new Domino's Mix and Match deal.
Around the Mountain, covering the tough issues and top stories in college sports.
I think at the end of the day, it was all about preparation.
There's no telling what these guys can do once they get clicking.
With heated debates.
You're not always going to please everybody. And as a player, that only builds and builds.
And no-holds-barred opinions.
This program has not been able to take off over the last several years.
I don't know why you want to give them any more motivation.
Around the Mountain is where sports reporters speak their minds and sports fans come to listen. Around the Mountain, Tuesday at 7 on the Mountain.
They have a chance to tie or take the lead this time down.
BYU, as they've done in the past, came out with a 2-3 zone.
Finish by Roberts. Oh, my.
Great looking play by Bradley. Unfortunately for them, it was in a losing effort. Welcome back to Post Game Live. BYU has defeated the Braves 70-60 in the season opener. Time for us to head back out to the Marriott Center. Joe Cravens is with Jonathan Tavanari.
Jonathan Tavanari, tough start to the game, shooting-wise. The second half, then, I thought you carried your team a little bit offensively.
Nah, not at all. We just play together all the time, like you said. I didn't get a good start, but in the second half I made good shots. But, the key of the game was our defense, you know what I mean? That's what kind of carries our team a little bit, There was too much fouls, a lot of people using their hands and just a little too much contact. But I'm just glad we got the first one out of the way.
Well, it's a tough matchup individually for you in particular, sometimes defensively.
I mean, not at all. I'm just used to guarding, the smaller guys. But I mean, not a 5'9", small guy. But I think in the end we made some adjustments. Our rotation was pretty good. But I get, my opinion is that for the first game, I think we did an okay job. But that's the beauty of it. It's just first game. We have a whole season to work on.
All right, Jonathan, great win. I look forward to following you all down the road. You guys got to have a nice team. Thanks.
All right, Marty, at this point in the season, game number 1, would you rather have the cupcake or would you rather have a little spinach on your plate, make you work a little bit harder?
Well, when you talk about an opening ball game, this is a terrific barometer for BYU. You can learn a lot of expensive lessons inexpensively because you got the W. And so it's best case scenario on both ends. The coaches will have their attention because they when you only shoot 40% from the floor, this is a team that's used to shooting close to 50%, Morris. So this is a great opener for them against a very, very tough competition. Bradley, the Missouri Valley. And let's hold up. Mountain West Conference 1, Missouri Valley 0. So you chalk up a win for the conference. So a terrific opener for BYU.
All right, well, as we were preparing for our football coverage this week, we talked to BYU quarterback Max Hall, and he told us some stories about the battles on the basketball court he had back in the day with former BYU star Lee Camard.
You know that me and Lee battled it out all through high school, right? We went to rival high schools.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah. We guarded each other all through high school. It was fun.
Who won most of those battles?
You know what's funny? Is in the out of all of them, I won more games. But he won some of the bigger ones. Their team went on and won state and stuff. But he was a quarterback in junior high, and we played against each other, and his team beat mine in junior high. So the only football game we played against each other, he won. So he's got that on me.
Was it the situation when you guarded him, he scored 25, but your team won?
No. I don't think he ever put up 25 on me. So I think the most he scored on us was, 13, 15, something like that.
Well, Spider-Man was a quarterback back in the day.
Spider-Man played QB. Let me tell you what, with that long reach, he could throw across the line of scrimmage with his feet behind and throw big-time passes. How about the quarterback, Max Hall? You love the competitor. He said, no. He never scored 25 against me. I love it.
I'll bet you this, though. Given Lee Camard's frame, I bet they put a lot of pressure on that offensive line to protect him each and every game out.
I'm sure that he was, 150?
Yeah,
all right,
maybe.
Let's get you caught up on some other scores from around the league. CSU beat UC Davis 91-75. Andy Ogade started his season in a big way. He had 24 points. Mid-American Christian gave TCU a game in Fort Worth. Horned Frogs squeaked by with a 5-point win thanks to 22-16 from Zvanko Bullion and another 26 from Tuffy Moss. You like him, Coach.
Love Tuffy.
And they lost its season opener to a directional religious school last year. This year, Utah falls to Idaho at home in a shocker, 94-87. Two other schools to get you caught up on. South Dakota State comes into Arena Auditorium and beats Wyoming 77-61. And Air Force has a 4-point lead with 10 minutes left at Clune Arena over Western State. Coach, any surprises there?
Well, quite a few surprises. Some games that were a little closer than you would have thought. But remember, opening day, first basketball game. And any win is a big-time win, whether it's only 4 or 5 points like TCU or a 10-point win by BYU. Utah, Idaho. We remember Utah opened up the season last year. They scored enough points to win tonight, 87. Their big guys inside, I think, were 12 for 13, so had good performances. Washburn had a big-time game. Durcha had a lot of assists. I'm sure the coaching staff will spend a whole lot of time talking about defense.
Yeah, they only usually give up 97 points in 2 games out there with the Utes. Tonight kicks off another busy season in college hoops for us here at the Mountain. We've got one down, 90 more games to go, including games in the Mountain West Conference Tournament in March. In addition to 69 more men's games, we'll also be bringing you 21 women's games right here on the network. Coming up next week, it's a pair of rivalries, a men's doubleheader in the opener. Utah State will be in Salt Lake City to take on Utah, and Nevada will be at UNLV. A week from tomorrow, this is a good one. It's a Pac-10 Mountain West women's doubleheader from San Diego, and on the 27th, the Cougars are back on the network hosting Weber State. All right, it's time for another break, and we're going to switch gears when we come back and focus on football. There's a big game in the Mountain West that also happens to be the biggest game in the country on Saturday. We'll talk Frogs and Utes because everybody else is, including Max Hall.
The Office Shop combines Wyoming's #1 service with America's #1 copier to give you the best performing office equipment in Wyoming. Our 5-year guarantee is proof that the best products and best service do make a difference. And as Wyoming's Canon dealer, our Canon certified technicians have provided superior service for 40 years, earning us top dealer status from Canon. Call the Office Shop, simply the best.
Hey, Rams and Cowboys fans, come show your football skills at the Mountain Skills Challenge. Join us at the Mountain booth before select Colorado State and Wyoming games. Then compete for your chance to win a brand new HD TV. Log on to themtn.tv for dates and locations and get your chance to win with the Mountain Skills Challenge. Join us for the Challenge Finals at the Mountain booth Friday, November 27th before the Wyoming CSU game at Ramtown on the southeast side of Hughes Stadium.
She'll stop and pop the three. Yes, sir. The run out. Yes. Oh, come on. Oh, boy. Huge bucket. Warburg stops, pops. Yes, sir.
Any questions?
What kind of service plan does this come with?
Unlimited.
Can I keep my same phone number?
Absolutely.
How do I change the ringtone?
Just hook it up to your computer.
Does it have a camera? What's the warranty? Does it come in silver? Can I put my party shuffle on this? Does it have a 3.5 millimeter headset jack? You sell a lot of these?
It's the one I carry.
You ever get those phantom vibrations in your pocket?
Any questions?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Ask questions. For the 10 questions everyone should know, go to ahrq.gov.
They're both good football teams. TCU's one of the best teams that we played all season. They played us tough. If I have to pick one, I'd pick TCU. I just think they're playing really good football right now.
Yeah, being bold. Here's a look at the BCS standings heading into Saturday. Florida and Alabama are 1-2. Texas is third with TCU number 4. Cincinnati is 5th and happy in the clubhouse for the rest of the weekend. We'll show you why in just a moment. The Mountain West also has Utah at 16 and BYU 22nd. Now, last year, Utah and TCU met in a high-stakes game in Salt Lake City. In that one, it was the Utes who were trying to maintain its unbeaten record and BCS standing. They did it by winning a heart-stopping thriller 13-10. This year, the roles are reversed, and the unbeaten Horned Frogs have been tabbed as much as a 16-point favorite, which is something Utah men's basketball coach Jim Boylan strongly disagrees with.
I think it's a joke. I think somebody's got some scam going on somewhere, because there's no way that's a 16-point game. And they'll see. We'll see how many people take them with given 16 points. I think it'll be changed by game time, and I expect our Utes to come out on top.
How about some more football? 25 West Virginia and number 5 Cincinnati, second quarter tie game at 7. Brian Clark breaks the tackle, and 37 yards later, he's getting into the end zone. Mountaineers took the lead 14-7. Later, Isaiah P. to the 2, stretches but is pushed back, causes a fumble. Play is reviewed and officials call it a touchdown. We're tied again at 14. Second half, same score. Tony Pike to DJ Woods. Cincy takes the 21-14 lead. They go on to win it 24-21. And just a reminder, a triple header of football tomorrow for you right here on the network. BYU New Mexico is game number 1. UNLV Air Force is the second game. And the nightcap is Wyoming and San Diego State battling to see whose postseason hopes can stay alive.
All right, Martin, who are you taking? Big game.
The winner is the conference, because this is a big-time game. But how about TCU stay undefeated and play Texas in the national championship game? BCS championship game, TCU versus Texas.
Thanks so much for staying up with us. For Bill Dolman and Marty Fletcher, I'm Marius Payton.
Don't forget to be right back here Saturday morning at 11 for Mountain West Football Saturday, and it's followed by a triple header that you will see in HD. We will see you later on the Mountain.
I'm gonna get me out of it. I'm gonna get me out of it. I'm gonna get me out of it.
Kick off your game day with Mountain West Football Saturday.
Before our teams take the field,
join the Mountains team.
For expert analysis and the latest conference news, Mountain West Football Saturday.
Your first play on game day.
In the Mountain West.
Mountain West Football Saturday. Saturday at 11 on the Mountain.
This thing rocks.
Lots of room back there in the back. Hemi, top of the line.
I mean, I can't think of a better word, but fantastic.
The all-new Dodge Ram 1500. The most award-winning truck of 2009 and winner of Strategic Vision's Total Quality Award.
Hi, I'm Marius Payton, and you're watching The Mountain West Sports Network.
For the latest news from around the Mountain West Conference and to interact with fellow fans, become a fan of the Mountain West on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Walk right in now, sit right down. Baby, let your hair hang down. Wow, now walk right in, sit right down. Baby, don't you wait so long.
For over 25 years, Great Clips has been the best value in haircuts. Just walk into any of our 2,700 salons today, and you'll see why there's no better time than now to give us a try.
Baby, let your hair hang down. Relax, you're at Great Clips.
Saturday on the Mountain, it's football in high definition at noon when the Cougars and Lobos line up in Albuquerque. At 4, the Rebels face the Falcons in Colorado Springs. And at 8, the Cowboys and Aztecs clash on the coast. It's all presented in high definition, beginning Saturday at noon.
Only on the Mountain, where the West is one.
You're watching The Mountain West Sports Network.